Biles, welcome to Call Her Daddy. I feel like we've been waiting for this for so long. Okay, we need to tell the daddy gang the story. So I would say, like, I don't know, maybe like a couple years ago, I don't remember who DM'd who. No, I remember. You tagged me in a story that you were watching Call Her Daddy, and I lost my mind because I was like, wait, she listens? Like, and then I started pressuring. I'm like, oh my God, I need to like do better. Like, I need to impress Simone. Like, but it was such a cool full circle moment that we started DMing and we had this like DMing relationship here and there. And then when NBC and I started working together for the Olympics, I remember we sat down and they were like, okay, like what person do you want to interview? And immediately I was like, Simone. And like, of course, they're like, LOL, like, that's so cute. Like, of course, everyone wants to interview Simone. I'm like, no, like, I need to interview her. And they're like, do you know her? And I'm like, kind of. Yeah. Like, we're pen pals like that. Yeah. And now we're finally here.
Thank God.
It's perfect.
Yes.
Okay, so we were just at your parents' gym. Watching from previous documentaries that you've done to watching it all get built to you now like having your own gym and how supportive your parents have been, like what does that support mean to you?
For me, it means the world because being adopted since I was 6 years old to now, it's been a long road and journey, like career-wise and just like who Simone is instead of Simone Biles. So it's been a long journey, but their support means the world to me. They've never really missed a competition, anything besides 2020 Olympics, 2021, whatever we want to call it. That's the only thing they missed because they weren't allowed to go because of COVID. But other than that, they've supported everything that I've ever wanted to do, all of that stuff since I was a young girl.
When you say the word Simone Biles to the world, I think everyone immediately thinks Olympian, the GOAT. Yeah. And I think there's like a lot of people that probably don't know where you came from and the backstory of like your life hasn't always just been this picture perfect situation. Right. When you were 3, you went into foster care.
Yes.
Can you just share just a little bit like what was going on at home that led to that?
I was only 3 years old, so I learned that a little bit whenever I was older, but drug and alcohol abuse. And so I just don't think that she was around too much and people, you know, would call CPS or see us out and about. So that's kind of what happened. That's when foster care came and got us and placed us into a foster home. And so the only thing that I remember was just being anxious when we would go to sleep because my brother was in the room next door. And I think we were just always used to sleeping together or close or whatever because he's not that much older. And mind you, we were 3. And so I just had anxiety problems. So we were in a girls' room. They had girls' rooms and boys' rooms. And from my knowledge that sometimes during the night or during the day, they would take kids out and replace them into a different home. And that's usually how siblings were separated. So I was just so terrified that if I woke up, my brother wouldn't be there. Even though I was with my sister, I was like, oh, we all have to stay together, kind of that thing, even from a young age. So I'd always sneak in and go sleep with him because I'm like, oh, this is my brother, you know, because I didn't understand the separation whenever at nighttime. Fast forward a couple years later, I was at gym and I knew I was adopted. From the moment we were adopted, my family told us, you guys are adopted. And I was like, cool, okay.
Right.
Great. Like, I don't know what that means, and then they had asked us if we wanted to call them mom and dad. And from my knowledge, I was like, perfect. Like, why wouldn't I? And so it was just super strange to me because I remember this day at gym. We were talking about our families and they had said something. And I was like, oh, well, I'm adopted. And it felt like everything in the room in the gym stopped. And they were like, what, you're adopted? Because that was not to their knowledge. And I was like, why is everyone freaking out? And so I was like, well, you know, my parents, those are my grandparents. My uncles, that I call my brother now, those were my uncles. And so I just remember we all sat on the floor. Practice stopped because everybody needed to know the story. Like the coaches were intrigued, everybody. They were like, you're adopted? And I was just kind of like, well, yeah, aren't you? Where'd you come from? I'm just like so confused.
Right, it was normal for you.
When they say the stork brings the babies, I'm like, how did you get here?
Stop.
I'm like, you weren't picked.
Wait, you weren't in a house and then
you weren't adopted. So like that was shocking to me.
Did your parents ever talk to you about your biological parents?
Kind of funny because I'm not sure the relationship, maybe because we didn't ask either, but we knew who it was as we got older. Shannon, and that's kind of what we just address her as. But I knew once I got older that that's my dad's daughter, and then that's also crazy explaining to people because I'm like, my biological mom is also my dad's daughter, and I call him dad. So it's just like everybody's hella confused.
It's a whole family tree that you're like, don't make me explain it. My parents are my parents. I got chosen, feeling blessed. Let's move on.
Literally.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
if you think too hard, it just gets jumbled.
So your grandparents adopted you at 6.
Yes.
And now they're your parents.
Yes.
Boom. How do you think that did change though, like the trajectory of your life?
Everything. I have no idea where I would be without being adopted. Unfortunately, I might end up the same statistic that other foster kids unfortunately end up. And at 18 years old, you get kicked out of a foster home. So then you're homeless.
Right.
If you don't get into college and stuff, which most people don't graduate high school, you're on the streets. So I fear for what my life would have looked like.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's incredible to see what you have all built together as a family. I love how in the beginning you just quickly are like, and then when I'm at the gym, back up. Okay. You are the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Let's talk about when you first got into gymnastics. Like, do you remember, did you just think of it as a hobby? Were you passionate about it? Like, how did you get into gymnastics?
We got into gymnastics, I say we as me and my sister, from a daycare field trip. Again, I believe everything happens for a reason. In this day, we're here in Texas, if nobody knows. We're here in Texas. We were supposed to go on a field trip to the oil ranch. Like, how country, how Texas is that?
Okay.
And then we wind up at the gym. And it's because it was storming that day. So they're like, that's an outside activity. Where are we going to take the kids? And so I feel like God was like, take the kids to the gym and see what happens. And so we end up at the gym. And I see these girls, and mind you, I've never seen gymnastics in my life. They're flipping around, all of the things. And me, 6 years old, I'm like, I could do that. Like, not knowing, I just feel like I could do that. And I'm watching them, super intrigued. Somebody does something, I do something, and then the coaches look over and they're like, can you do that again? Like, what did you just do? Have you ever been to gymnastics? I was like, no, this is my first time. And I did it again, and they're looking at my body build. And if I show you pictures whenever I was younger, I was built, I was ripped for no reason. That's just how I was built. And so they were like, you've never done a sport. Your body stature is it's made for gymnastics. And they're like, that's not normal. And so they sent a letter home, and I gave it to my parents. My mom saw it, and she was like, okay, do you want to do the one with the 4 events, or do you want to do tumbling, and then maybe you'll go to cheerleading? And I was like, I want to do the one with the 4 events. And that's how I started.
It is truly fascinating that some people you hear that are so great, like Tom Brady, for example. You think of Tom and they're like, oh, he was a little awkward, and it's kind of crazy that Tom can even run the way he can.
Yeah.
For you, it's the complete opposite, where you walked into the gym and people were like, who is that girl?
Yes.
And you had never done any of this before. Because I was going to ask you, was there ever, once you started, an aha moment that you were like, holy shit, I'm actually really good at this?
Never for me. Everybody else always saw it. And since I was always the smallest in my class, the shortest, I thought they would always be like, oh my God, she's so good. She's so cute. She has so much talent. I just thought it was what your grandmother does when she comes around every year, oh, you look so good. I thought really that's what it was. And I'm like, you're just saying that because I'm so short. So it took a while for me to really lean into my talent and to realize, oh my gosh, I could do something or be someone. Because once I started, I did it for fun. Nobody in my family has ever done gymnastics, so they have no idea where the talent came from. My siblings were really good at track, but that's kind of it.
Were you in school? Did people make comments about how short you were? Were that you were? It seems
short,
like you were.
Yes, because you could always grow. So they were like, we're just waiting for her growth spurt, which I'm still waiting. I tell God, finish it when I'm done with gymnastics. So maybe we're not done yet. I mean, the doctor probably thinks my growth plates are closed, but that's a different story.
I love it. You're like, it's gonna happen.
But other than that, they all saw it. They would say they gave me this nickname Swolger because my muscles and all of this stuff. And so one time I beat this kid up on the playground because he said, oh, I bet you can't beat me up. And I was always the kid that if you said I couldn't do something, I'm doing it. And I think I'm still that way. I'm doing it.
I was gonna say, I feel like getting into this sport, any sport that
Yeah.
at the competitive level that you're dealing with, you have to have such discipline and drive. And I'm wondering, like, where did that come from, this competitiveness in you?
I don't know, but if I had to pinpoint, like my parents were very hard workers. Me and my sister were pretty much always on top of our schoolwork, and we were just kind of self-driven, and I don't know where it came from, but I think it started from my parents, just seeing how hard they work, everything that they've done for us, for our siblings. Um, it's kind of something that was a little bit taught in that nature too.
Yeah. When you do compete at this level, I know that for athletes, it's like, it's not just you committing your life. It's
Yeah.
your entire family has to get on
Yeah.
board. It's a lifestyle change. When do you think you guys really all decided, like, oh, as a
My
family,
goodness.
we're going for this?
Probably the whole family started making sacrifices when my practices started going late, and then dinner time started to change, or they would have to leave stuff in the oven or on the stove, and they were like, okay, she's really doing this, but none of us knew how far it was going to take us and to end up where we are. We just kind of thought like, oh, she's doing these flips, she likes it, she enjoys it. As long as she's having a good time, we're gonna let her continue, because my parents were always the first to say, if you wanna quit, let us know, we'll pull you out.
Because you went to public school till 8th grade, right?
Correct.
And then you officially did homeschooling starting high school. Did you get to
Yeah.
have any like typical teenage experiences? Like, did you go to
None.
prom?
None. The first time I danced with a boy was on Dancing with the Stars with Sasha, and it was after the Olympics. I was like 19 years old. I remember he like got in my face, grabbed me, and I was like, ah, like freaking out.
Simone.
No,
No.
talk about like a culture shock.
I was about to say the fact I need to hear if there's anyone in the world that could say that statement. The first time I ever danced with a boy was on Dancing with the Stars.
Literally.
Icon.
Yeah.
Icon. Like, it's
Thank
giving
you.
like only you. Are you
Crazy.
kidding? Okay, so you never got, did you have sleepovers?
Some, but then at that time we had moved like 40 minutes away. So if we ever wanted to have a sleepover, it was more like your mom drops us off, your dad brings her, because like the distance. So other than that, we'd have some best friends come sleep over. But then it was kind of like, okay, if you stay over on Friday, you're not leaving till Sunday. So we had sleepovers, but then again, it started turning into, sorry, I have practice on Saturday, so then go to the gym, we'll drop you off. That sort of thing.
It's like your life revolved around it.
Everything
Which is-
revolved around gymnastics.
And if people don't play sports, like, I look back, I'm like, okay, can I relate to that? I'm like, yeah, growing up, most of my friends were just soccer friends, because you're just kind of
Just
become this
gymnastics
family,
friends.
and they're like your sisters.
Yeah. I think in middle school, that's when the insecurities started, and I kind of became a shell of myself, but I feel like nobody really understood why I was like racing to my locker to get my gym equipment. And then like at the time, our housekeeper would take me to practice and all of this stuff. So nothing I did at that point was relatable, and it was very hard to not make friends, but to just keep them up, because I couldn't hang out with them on the weekends. I couldn't go to Friday Night Live. I couldn't do anything on the weekends. I was going to a gymnastics meet. I was doing this, that, the other. So to me, it was like, let me get my schoolwork done. I have like 3 friends, like at the loser table, like, and I'll do my stuff at the gym. And yeah, it was really hard to relate, because they're doing who knows what, and like,
They're like texting boys on AIM, and you're like in the
I
gym.
don't know what that is.
No.
Like, the
Like,
only boy I know is Jim.
No,
Like,
literally. And did
no
you
idea.
resent it at all? Like, did you ever be like, oh, why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing this to myself?
At that point, no, because I still loved to do it, and I had all my friends at the gym.
Yep.
And that's kind of all I needed at that point. But going into high school, I was like mad at my parents. Like mad as hell, like, you figure it out why I can't do school and gym. Like, you figure it out. Like, some of my friends could do it because their states allowed that. And that's at the time I started doing national team camps, and we missed so much school. So I didn't have a choice, but like, California, as long as you did your schoolwork, and I can't speak on the rules or
Yeah.
the laws now, but it's just how it was back then. They could miss, however, as long as they got their schoolwork done out of it. But Texas law states you can only miss X amount before they fail you, even if you do your schoolwork. So that just wasn't an option for us. And it's not like we were ever gonna move or do anything, because like Texas has kind of the best gymnastics, and that's what it was. But I wanted to go to the football games. I wanted to go to the school dances. I wanted to, but it was okay that I didn't, because I knew I wasn't confident enough in my body to show my muscles, because at that time I wore a lot of hoodies and I didn't want my muscles to show, because then at that point I'm stronger than all the boys because they haven't bulked up yet, and I'm just like, hey, nobody really understood, so it was okay.
Right, I get what you're saying. It's almost like it was okay for you to escape to the gym because
Yes.
you felt more confident there.
And everybody had muscles and we all looked the same. I do remember one of my friends snuck me into high school one day, and I got to go around with her to each class, and I thought that was the best day ever. I was like, I'm in a high school, and her teachers just played along with it. They were like, if the principal catches us, who knows what we'll do.
Stop.
But I did a whole entire day with her, and that was so cool.
Well, it's incredible to look back, and as much as you sacrificed, the sacrifice is clearly paid off, because when you were 16 is when your winning streak just really began.
Yeah.
You won 3 consecutive world championships, and then you went on to dominate the Rio Olympics.
Yeah.
When you look back at that time of your life, like, what does that success mean to you?
Well, to me, I thought that's kind of where it ended. And I was like, oh my gosh, how have I reached my greatest achievement in life at 19? I was scared for the rest of my life. Like, how can I beat this? How can I top this? What the heck am I gonna do? I won the Olympics at 19. Like, it's gonna be a shithole from here on out.
So we're going downhill.
No, literally, because most people don't get to go to more than one Olympics or do those things. So at one point I was like, I did it. This is my greatest, this is the greatest thing that I wanted to achieve in my life. And then I was like, I did it at 19.
You almost like were excited for 2 seconds to then be like, can I even and actually enjoy this? Because does this mean it's over?
Yes. And so I was scared, but at that time you couldn't really tell me anything, because I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. And I knew as soon as that happens, we've watched previous Olympics, so we know how their lives change after that. So I knew it was going to be different, but I knew that it was going to be different every day at the Olympics. My followers go up 10,000, and then I had 1 million. And then I was like, what the heck is happening, and why are people following me? I was like, at that point, I was like, yes, this is my greatest achievement because I've been vying for this since I was 6 years old, per se. But then I was like, but y'all haven't watched the come up, so why do you care? Like, this is my greatest achievement, cool. Right. So it was kind of weird to me that people were following me because I had won the Olympics, because to me that was the biggest thing. But I was like, how's that the biggest thing for you to follow me because I won this? It was kind of weird. And then I was like, okay, I really need to find out who I am without gymnastics, because I didn't think I was going to do it again.
When the rise really started, like, I think about the pressure that people put on you. It's like, oh my God, you're so great. We all are looking at you. You're Simone Biles. You just did the Olympics. You're thriving. You're getting gold. Like, did you ever feel like you weren't allowed to have moments of weakness?
A lot of the time, because on a lot of the teams, like, a lot of the girls looked up to me. So I felt like I was that strong person that everybody was like, oh my God, Simone's so strong. She has a strong personality. If you had something to describe me as, strong went before that word. So I felt like I could never show a sign of weakness, but I just always felt like I was the strong one for my friends, the strong ones for my family, the strong ones. So it was just kind of like, I got to a point where it was so hard for me to cry or show emotion. But I also think that came from gymnastics. It's like, throw all that out the window, work on what you need to work on, and then outside of the gym, whatever happens, happens. So yeah, it was weird, different, difficult. But at that point, again, I'm only 19 years old.
Well, that's what I was going to say, though, Simone. Like, when you're saying, like, I had to be strong, like, I'm technically, like, the older one at the gym. I've now gone to the Olympics. Like, I know what I'm doing. Like, you're strong for your family. Like, who did you, like, go to say, like, hey, like, I'm stressed. I have all these followers. I have the world star. Like,
a lot of the time, if it was my sister, because we're very, very, very close, if it wasn't her, silent cries. I didn't like to see anybody, like, I didn't want anybody to ever see me cry.
Why?
Because I didn't want them to show or see that I was a sign of weakness. So it was a lot of silent nights where I would cry, because even after the Olympics, I went home and, like, we went on tour and stuff, but there would be a lot of times where I felt so alone, because, like, how many kids can relate? 19 years old, you won the Olympics, and then you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. I'm still learning. It's just like, now I'm a celebrity. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I don't know if I can do this again. Everybody's cheering me on. It's just like, it was an overnight sensation, so to speak, even though like people that watch gymnastics, watched for the 4 years prior, watched my whole entire career, but to just be like thrown out there, I was kind of confused. But then somebody told me it was lonely at the top. And so I would relay that message in my head. And it was like positive sometimes, like, yeah, it's lonely at the top. And then other times it was like, it felt hard and heavy.
Right, you're like, I don't know if I want to be at the top if it's this
Yeah.
lonely, like if it's this isolating.
Yes, because I'm only 19. So we wanted our lives to be as normal as possible. And so I think that's why I'm so grounded with my family and all, because we never wanted it to take over, because we've seen how that can happen. But again, I was just a kid. I was homeschooled. I didn't have much. It's like,
Well, as I'm listening to you talk about this too, it's like
yeah,
there's so much pressure that is
Yeah.
put on young athletes. Then when you are the star athlete at a young age, there's
Yeah.
more pressure to like grow up and become an adult soon, because everything's riding on you,
yes.
it feels like.
And you're
you're
under
right,
a
it's like,
microscope.
yeah, and then you have
Yeah.
the press looking at you and fans, and you're like, now I need to become media trained, and now I need to learn
Yeah.
how to like know how to just handle myself again at 19 years old. And something that I'm realizing you're saying, talking about how you had to bear a lot of this on your own with all of your success, then there was behind the scenes so much
Right.
fucking going on.
Yeah.
And in 2018,
Yeah.
you spoke out about the abuse that you endured from the USA Gymnastics physician.
Yeah.
I'm so curious, Simone, like, can you talk about your decision to open up about that?
The main reason I did that is because a lot of people follow me, a lot of people go on my platforms, and I've always been an open and honest book from the very beginning, and I've always decided I'm not gonna let anything ever change me, because this is who I am, so take it or leave it. But I've always been an open book. Like, I was talking to my friend the other day, and she was like, I met you in 3 minutes. We went from talking about this to like deep stuff. And it's just like, a lot of people, when they meet me, they can feel that. But it's after that, I decided to speak out because I know it could help a lot of people. So if I could shine a light on whatever that is, then I'm gonna do that. But I wanted to be in a good enough place and to have the proper help lined up before I spoke out, because that stuff was so traumatizing, and I truly don't understand how I did what I did under those circumstances and how I put on a face. But at some point, as an athlete, you were an athlete, so you understand. It's like, we normalize a lot of stuff, but then we push off emotions. It's like, we do so much.
It's this like, you can create this like false narrative in your head of what
Yes.
you should endure and what's normal. And
that's all you know. That's all we knew. So we thought it was normal because we're all homeschooled there together.
Right.
It's like,
right, you're all going through the same thing.
yeah, and so if we're talking to each other, and if this is happening to you, this is happening to you, okay,
right, like,
cool. It's normalized.
what we're talking about also is like, there's so many different forms of abuse, but like the abuse of power
Yeah.
it's such a tricky situation, and we see it so often. But
Yeah.
like, we're having a conversation about someone that you were told to trust, but also by an organization that was supposed to protect you and foster your career. And so there's so much, yes, abuse mentally, physically, emotionally, but like, I'm curious because I think sometimes when people look at you, it's like Simone Biles, like the face of mental health, and she's the best gymnast, but it's like, on the real day to day, like this shit is fucking awful to go through. And people weren't with you on the day to day. Once you decided to speak out about this, like, how did processing this trauma show up in your day to day life?
Well, at that point, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and I kind of knew I was depressed, but I hid it so well because I train 34 hours a week. So what do I always do whenever I'm at home? I'm in my room laying down, resting. But I knew this resting was very different. Like, it was hard to get out of bed. It was hard to do anything. It felt like everything felt heavy in the end of the world. And again, a lot of sleepless, crying nights. Like, why me? Because it's just like, and then you kind of play victim, and then it seems like, again, nobody can relate to you. Nobody's listening. I trusted this person, this, that, the other. So it just felt very, I wouldn't even say dehumanizing, but it felt like I held a lot of the guilt that wasn't mine to hold.
The fucking worst.
Yes. And I think that was the hardest for me to process. Mm-hmm. And I learned through therapy, like, yes, this is not my guilt to hold, but to convince myself that, because it's easier said than done.
Totally.
But to convince myself that, it was really, really hard. And I think I'm still working on that in therapy. Like, it's gotten a lot better and I feel comfortable, and now I can have conversations and stuff like that. But yeah, I have good days, I have bad days, but I also know that that doesn't define me.
It does not define you at all. It's an experience you went through. I do think it's unfortunate how so few people understand, though. Like, this is something that is a part of you for the rest of your life. It doesn't define you.
Yes.
But when people are like, okay, like, it's never over.
Yes, and that's, I think, as an athlete, that was the hardest thing for me to process too, because, you know, if you get injured, you go to the doctor and they're like, okay, 3 to 6 months or 3 weeks or whatever. And this is like years. And I'm like, why do I not feel better? Like, if a doctor could sit down and tell me, I'd be great. Because I thought like, oh, 3 to 6 months, 3 to 6 weeks. It's like, we're always on timeline with injuries. So whenever it's a mental injury or a physical injury that you're going through like that, with depression and anxiety, and nobody can give you a timeline, it feels like it's never ending. And I was like, I just don't understand. I should be fine by now.
And doesn't that bring up sometimes, like, there's shame that comes with it? You're like, why the fuck is this not going away?
Because it's like, I'm not going to want to be in 10 years talking about this and somebody's going to be like, God, here she goes again. But it's like...
But I do think you talking about it, Simone, and that's why I think it's really important how you said, this does not define you. But it's also important to show people, when people are like, that's so sad that happened to someone, and then they move on with their lives. Yeah. This is something that stays with people forever. Yeah. And so to neglect the conversation of like acting like it didn't happen, it did. And you are who you are, but it's a piece of you and it's a part of you. I also think that's such an interesting comparison of like, if you mess up your ankle, it's visible, you can feel it, you can't ignore it. With trauma, emotionally, you can shut that shit down and you can bury it so far.
And that's the thing, we're so good at as athletes at doing that too. And my therapist is like, just take it out of the box, roll it out on the floor. Like, it's fine, because we're so good at like depressing everything. Yes. So it's like, God. So for so long, it's worked until it didn't anymore. And that's what you saw at the Olympics, a big old spill. And I was like, to me, I couldn't understand why that happened either. Because I'm like, gymnastics, like, what the heck is going on? Why is this happening? And then my therapist is like, well, we know why it happened. And I still have conversations with her to this day. And I'm like, hey, look, it's Olympic year. Did we figure out why that happened? And she's like, Simone, we figured out why this has happened. I was like, are we sure? Are we sure?
Like, because it can't happen again.
Yes, but it's like, it wasn't just a mental injury that happened called the twisties. It's like compressing all of this shit for so many years. It just unfolded.
Right.
Like you can't compress trauma that much longer. Yeah. And I hate to be the person that blames it on something else, because I'd rather blame it on, like, I have a hangnail. Sorry, can't vault. Like, or whatever it is.
Right. You're like, I wish I could say, like,
like,
money.
Yes, and at that point, after I came out about it, they're like, she doesn't want to lose. And I was like, first of all, I almost broke my leg, but thankfully I didn't break my leg. And I called my agent and I was like, this is a mental injury that they can't see. Do they want me to wear a helmet? I'm like, because they couldn't see it, so they couldn't relate to it. They couldn't grasp it. It's not something that I could tell them so that they could feel like, if I broke my ankle, they'd be like, should I broke my ankle before too? Like, I know how that feels. Of course you can't vault. But for a mental injury, nobody could understand it. So there were so many narratives thrown around, so many different excuses that were pushed onto me. And I think the shittiest part of all at the Olympics, I have very good, like, senses, and I knew something was going to go wrong. I couldn't pinpoint what it was or when it was going to happen, but I just had this feeling deep down, this is not going to go the way I want it to. And I don't know why, but I have this deep, deep feeling like something's going to happen.
To people that, I mean, aren't familiar, yes,
Yeah.
you went to the Tokyo Olympics. And
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, so you're saying you kind of knew, like, when do you think you knew? Like, where were you mentally going into the Tokyo Olympics?
I don't know, but I could feel something, and I felt myself, besides all the pressure, because we deal with that as elite athletes. We have different tactics about how we're going to carry ourselves and how we're going to do whatever so that we can still compete to the best of our ability, you know? But there was something that I could feel that was going to be out of my control. And I didn't know when it was going to happen or what was going to happen. But I was like, I felt strange, but I'm not going to tell anybody on the team that. I'm a veteran. It's everyone's first times at the Olympics. Like, they're looking up to me and I'm guiding them, taking them through the route. But, you know, nothing about that Olympics was normal anyways. We're having a pandemic. The whole world is shut down. Like, nothing about the Olympic Games was normal. And I feel for those athletes that might not ever be able to go to another Olympic Games, because that is not what the Olympics is about.
Yeah.
In 2016, it was so much fun. The camaraderie, the team spirit, everybody's rooting for everybody. I feel like that's world peace. Time stops. Doesn't matter what color you are, what religion you are, what you support, what you don't support. Everybody comes together to support their athletes and their country. So it was just very strange, but I could feel something, like the wires weren't connected, like the red, the yellow.
Something was off.
Mm-hmm.
And in training up to Tokyo, did you feel that too?
A little bit, but we had been training so hard and we were prepared. Like, we were so prepared. I've never been so prepared for an event in my life. I mean, obviously besides 2016, but this felt like a different kind of prepared. And it felt a little bit more calm.
Isn't that so crazy as I'm listening to you? Like, you're like, I'm on the plane ride to Tokyo,
Yeah.
and I knew. Like, I knew
Just like something just like was weird.
And you didn't know when.
Yeah.
But, like, that's again, like, the body just telling you, like, something ain't right.
Yeah.
Simone, we're not good. And
Yeah,
you're
but
like,
to me-
push it down. We are fine.
And to me, I was like, it's fine. Take your medicine. And some of the days, we're asking my doctor, I'm going to take two of my pills. I never take two of my pills, but I was like, something's coming up. It feels like I don't know what it is, but like, I cannot control this. It is out of my control. So we're going to control what we can control. Let's take your medicine. Maybe try 20 milligrams. Maybe try this. And it was just like, it was the weirdest experience. And whenever I look back at it, it doesn't seem real life, which maybe is a good thing.
Right. You're like, it's kind of like,
it's a good thing till everybody reminds me.
no, as I'm sitting here being like, so let's talk about the team final in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I'm curious. We know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You get lost in the air during your vault and everyone was shocked. But I'm curious, like, take me to the moment literally when you land on the mat. What is going through your mind? Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Shopify. What if your work was more than just a paycheck? As an entrepreneur, you can turn your passion into profits and do something you truly love every single day. All the tools you need are at your fingertips with Shopify, making it so easy for you to focus on the big picture and fuel your passions. Daddy Gang, there are so many ways that you can turn a passion into something bigger. And with Shopify, you can easily sell on social media, manage your operations, and even collaborate with other brands. Shopify is your all-in-one hub for managing and growing your businesses, whether you're selling online or in person. Being an entrepreneur has been rewarding for so many reasons. The main one that I genuinely love what I do. I love being able to bring my passions into my business. For example, working with the National Women's Soccer League. Soccer was such a huge part of my life for so long, and partnering Unwell with the NWSL was truly a dream come true for me as a businesswoman. If there is something that you love to do, but you don't know where to start in terms of making it a business, check out Shopify. They can help make your dream a reality. Life is too short to do something you don't love. Daddies, start today on shopify.com/daddy and make it happen. That's shopify.com/daddy. take me to the moment literally when you land on the mat. What is going through your mind?
Okay, I'll start from the back of the runway when we're standing there.
Let's go back to the runway.
So in the back, like, we already knew my gymnastics was kind of janky. Like, in training, I was having twisties already, but I'm trying to push past that. And I would literally tell my teammates, like, I'm fighting demons. I'm fighting demons right now, but I'm going to do it for you guys. Because, like, the cords were not connected. So I literally felt like I was fighting my body and my mind to do these tricks. So we're trying to do some different things in the back, and I'm like, okay, I can't do a full and off beam. Can I please go back to my double, which is way harder, but I know if I twist more, it's better for me. So then we go to vault. Vault is feeling a little bit weird in the air, and you can see it. Like, the girls, we ended on floor because we started on vault out there. So we end on floor. I go to do my first pass, and you can see in the air, like, you can ask the girls, it's not like my first pass is a triple-double. And usually when you do it, you see my regular videos, you see 1, you see 2, you see 3. This one, it looks like I'm going like this in the air, and it doesn't feel comfortable. I have no idea where I am, but I'm twisting, like praying, land on my feet, and they're like, that looks jacked up. You can tell. All of the gymnasts in there from all of the countries are like, that's jacked up. That looks jacked up. It looks like she's never done this a day in her life, but they know it's a twisty. So people are kind of trying not to watch. We get out there and vault, and I was like, okay, it's fine. I warmed up everything. Like, it wasn't good, but I did it. And so we get out there on vault, and we have a one-touch warm-up, go over the table, do a 1.5. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what was that? And so I'm like, it's fine. And everybody's freaking out. I don't have another touch, so I have to go stand there until it's my turn to salute and go. I don't have another touch. So the girls
can you explain that to people that have no idea what gymnastics, like, they're like, what?
Yes,
what do you
gymnastics, once we go out there, we usually have a one-touch vault. And it is what it is. It's to warm up you. You're usually sitting in the back for 40, 45 minutes. Come out. You get one turn to take to warm up your vault to perfection. And then you sit there and wait till it's your turn to salute. And, hey, I'm at the Olympics. You know, that's your debut before, you know.
Yes.
And so we go out there. And I do the 1.5. And my teammates are shook. They're like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm trying to convince myself I'm okay. So I don't need you asking me if I'm okay.
Right.
Because I'm okay. Listen, I'm okay.
We're great.
Like, everything is not okay. Like, yeah, literally. And so they're like, you're fine. And I was like, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why. And I knew once I got up there, I'm chalking up. We can't put Jordan in yet. I have to go. I have to put up a score. No matter what it is over the table, I have to put up a score. So I'm chalking up, and you can see if you watch the video, I'm like, because I have no idea what I'm going to do when I hit that table. And so in my head, I'm standing there, and I'm like, I'll just do the double pike, which I haven't warmed up in like 4 days. And I'm like, if I do a double pike, over-rotate it, it's fine. And then I was like, they put up a score for a 2.5, so I have to do a 2.5. And I'm thinking, if I do a double back, that's so dangerous. My coach will kill me. My team will never forgive. And I saluted, and I was like, praying to God, because I knew I was going to do a vault, but I didn't know what I was going to do. And I knew I was going to try to do a 2.5, but I didn't know how many twists I was going to make. And I just, because I couldn't twist anymore. It's just like your body, your brain opens up, have no idea where you are. So I opened, landed like that. And as soon as I land, I kind of grin, and I'm like, shit. And I salute, and I want to run. If I could have gotten a plane and flown home, I would have done it. But I just, as soon as I landed, I was like, oh, America hates me. The world is going to hate me. And I can only see what they're saying on Twitter right now. That was my first thought.
Simone.
I was like, holy shit. What are they going to say about me? Because usually if you go to the Olympics and you flop or whatever it is, everybody on their couch eating those little chips.
Right. It's like you let the country down.
Oh, I thought I was going to be banned from America. Because that's what they tell you. Don't come back. If it's not gold or bust, don't come back. And I was like, I don't. Thanks.
Can we just pause also? Like, you landing, and the first thing that you're thinking should have been, thank God I'm alive. Because you can severely hurt yourself in those moments. Yes. And you, understandably, because this is such an athlete thing, it's like, praise everyone, get everything for everyone, and just like sacrifice my body at all costs. And you land on the mat, and you're thinking, what is Twitter saying?
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm going to be one of those videos, flops at the Olympics. Like, this is horrible. And I knew I couldn't recover. And I know how long the twisties takes to get over. And I know it's not overnight.
Can you explain also to people that aren't familiar, what is the twisties?
Okay, if I had to explain it in gymnastics terms, it still might not make sense, but it's basically like your mind and your body is at a disconnect. Your body is going to try to do something, and your mind is going to be like, no, you're not doing this. You're going to open out. You're going to do this. But it's the same as if, like, the best way I could describe it is every day you drive a car. If one day you woke up and you had no idea how to drive a car, your legs are going crazy, you have no control over your body, that's kind of how it feels like. You've been doing something for so long, and you now no longer have control.
Terrifying.
And it's terrifying because we're in a car without any protection. I am my car. Like, so I would explain it as like the yips in golf or baseball or whatever it is. I'm not familiar with other sports, so if I'm wrong, correct me. But that's kind of how it feels like.
So immediately when you get off the mat, what do?
I go to tell my coach, and I said, I'm done. I'm not doing anymore. Because if I survive that, I don't know how much else I can survive. Like, I always say I'm a cat with 9 lives, but I think that was my 9th. I'm done. And she's like, are you sure? And I was like, yes, Jordan, gear up. You're in. You're doing the rest of the meet. I'm not. Like, I can't do it.
And are you like internally freaking out, but you're coming off just
internally, but I didn't want to freak out in front of the girls.
Got it.
So I kept like as composed as I could have. And I was like, you guys got this. And then we went to the back just to get evaluated, like mentally and physically. But we also I didn't want to scare the girls. So I was like, can we please go? And there's cameras, all the cameras rush over. And I was just like, because I know what happened, but I also don't know what happened and why it happened. So we just went in the back. The girls are gearing up for bars. I come back out and I was like, you guys got this. You'll be fine. Trust me. And they were like, no, we can't do this out without you. We're not going to win anymore. Da-da-da. They're freaking out because they also know what Twitter's going to say if US doesn't win. And I was like, don't worry about it. You guys are here because you're the best in the world, and you will be. Like, go out there and do your job. But I think it was really hard on them because mentally they lost their best player, the veteran. Like, I think it was really hard on them. So that's something that I'll never forgive myself for that whole entire experience, because I wish I could have been in there with them in a way that I was supposed to. Physically, putting up team scores, putting them. But after that, I became their loudest and best cheerleader. But I just wish it would have been contributing the way that it was supposed to happen.
I think that's so hard. When you're an athlete, you understand that moment where you're like, you logically know there was nothing else you could have done.
Nothing.
But
nothing.
Your brain is illogical when you're in those moments,
of course,
with your teammates where you're like, I will literally like die for this team
and
right
that's
now.
That's what I was doing. That's what I was putting myself through in the back. And that's why I don't know how I made it that far through warm-ups, through competing. I don't know how I landed on my feet. And I think that's what people don't realize is like, that's not the vault that I was supposed to compete. I had a whole nother full twist that I was supposed to compete. So they're like, she didn't want to lose. And I was like, no. I'm not like, my pride is not that big. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So at that point, it's like, you know what? I need to take care of myself, and I need to do what's right for my team. And yeah, I need to let my pride not get in the way and push through this just to compete at the Olympics again. I need to go, sit down, take a rest, see what's wrong mentally, and let's figure it out. But let's still give my team a chance of medal contention. Because again, what people also don't realize is if I got hurt on that vault, they couldn't replace me. So if I got hurt, since I'm on every event, it's 2 up, 2 count. We would have never won a medal. But since what happened, we went to the back. At that point, they could rule it as a mental injury and all of that stuff and physical. We got to put Jordan in. People don't know that.
What happened in the back? Did you just try to, like, what happened?
Doctors came over. I had to talk to my family because they were watching the Olympics, and they see me get whisked to the back. So they thought I was hurt. And I'm like,
poor parents.
Yeah, I'm hurt. My heart is broken. Like, everything hurts, but my knees are fine. I'm like, my brain hurts, like everything. So I called my family, and it's so funny because my sister was sleeping.
No.
Like, bitch, I'm at the Olympics. Why are you sleeping? But there's a time change, so I get it. But everybody's up in the house cheering for me, Simone gear on. And my sister's like, I think I'll take a nap.
I think I'll sit this one out. Simone's got it. So did they wake her up?
No, she heard the phone ring because I called the home phone. And she said she was sleeping and she felt something was wrong. She ran to the kitchen and said, I'll answer it, and saw my name on it.
Oh, that's freaky.
Freaky. And she answered and she said, hello. And as soon as I heard her voice, I lost it.
You're crying.
I was like, I'm out. I'm done. Like, and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. Can you hand the phone to mom? Like,
You're like, Mom.
yeah, I'm like, come pick me up. I'm scared.
Literally, Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared. I'm in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And you're back in the United States. What did your mom say?
She was like, are you okay? Because that was her main concern. She thought I got hurt.
Of course.
And at that point, like, yeah, I wish my toe was sticking on the side of my foot or my knees were cracked or something, because that would have been easier to explain.
It's also just like, as an athlete, you're so right. It's like the feeling of trying, we're supposed to be the toughest.
Yeah.
We're like, you're invincible.
Yeah.
What do you mean? We can't see the injury, so you're fine.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, sorry I came here. My brain just decided to have a malfunction and break.
Yeah, how do you describe that to people?
Yeah,
how do you tweet that one to the world?
That's what I'm saying. But then whenever I really talked about it, and there were actually a lot of people that understood, and we got a lot of positive feedback, and that's why I was like, you know what? You're not going to put me at the forefront of mental health, but again, if I can be a voice, let's go through this journey together, because I know, unfortunately, a lot of us are struggling, but let's walk this journey together and let's go get healthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are your parents like on that call? Your mom's checking if you're okay.
Yeah.
What is your dad like in those moments?
My dad is always so calm and collected, it seems.
Yeah.
So he was probably like, oh, is she okay? But probably not even that concerned. He was probably like, is she okay? Okay. Okay. Like, I think that's just what he was doing. My mom was like a mess. I could hear her crying and breaking down, and that's what broke me too. It's because also I have so many people who have helped me get to where I was.
Yep.
And I felt like I didn't just let down myself. I let down that team that was there. I let down America. I let down my trainers. There are so many people that helped me get there. And that's why every time I get to compete for Team USA or I'm on top of that podium, I'm so grateful. And that medal's not just for me, it's for everybody that has helped me get there. So it's like, at that point, it was really heavy, because I was like, I couldn't even, at that point, I couldn't even look at Laurent. Like, Cecile helped me so much, but I couldn't look at Laurent.
Why?
I felt like I failed him. And I've never said that out loud, so it's like, and they've helped me get to that point, because I never thought I was going to do gymnastics again. And so I felt like I let down Laurent.
Now, having met him, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, he has such a incredibly high standard for you in the best way, and he's so like fierce and loyal, but like
he tries not to let anything get to him. And I knew that got to him.
You ended up participating in the individual beam competition and won a bronze medal, Flex. How did you know you were okay to compete?
I changed my routine because I didn't have to twist. Flipping wasn't necessarily the problem. It was flipping and twisting. And so one of the gyms there let me go train there. And I have like videos from that too. And so they let me change my dismount, and I've done a full in for like 7 years or 8 years. I hadn't done a double pike in like that long. So going back and trying to control that, and I kept over rotating it, was insane. I was so scared because my dismount is typically harder. And so I was like, okay, I can still do beam if we change my dismount. And we were able to change it. And at that point, I didn't think I was going to medal. I was like, I just want to go out there and compete because this is what I came here to do.
But how do you even like mentally get yourself together to like after that moment with vault? Like,
it was like 4 days later, thank God.
You could just like chill.
Because I pulled out of every final, but every time I pulled out of a final, I felt like it was another knife. Like, so I got to do beam, and I was really excited. And then, of course, a lot of people hated that. Oh, of course she's going to do it for herself. And I was like, you don't see me twisting, do you? Still not twisting. But yeah, once the score came up, I was like, oh, thank God. Like, made a beam routine. And then we saw that I was going to medal, and I hit Cecile, and I said, what? I'm going to a bronze? And after Rio, I got a bronze on beam, and I was shunned. And people were like, throw that medal away. You should have got a gold because I did mess up. But there's no telling what the medal would have been. But I did mess up, so I ended up with a bronze. And so I was scarred from having a bronze medal because I never really talked about my bronze because people made me so ashamed of it in Rio. And so whenever I got that bronze, you couldn't tell me that it was bronze. It felt like a gold to me.
Right, you're like, I'm just happy I got a medal.
Yes.
I'm happy I got back out there.
Competed.
For people to be like, don't come home with that bronze. It's like, sorry, do you know how to do a cartwheel?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, sorry, who are you to say don't
Yes.
come home with a bronze?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'll
It's
walk my ass back into America
Yeah.
and happily raise it around.
Right.
I'll take a bronze.
Yeah, so it's just like from one spectrum to the other, from having a Rio bronze to
Yeah.
a Tokyo bronze. It's like polar opposites. Like I'm swinging that thing around. People are like, hey, you know that's a bronze. I'm like,
We got it. Let's
yeah,
go.
like you couldn't tell
Right.
me that it was a bronze.
Because you got it.
Yeah.
Like, God bless.
Yeah.
Okay, take me to the plane ride. I'm picturing you're like getting through these Olympics at this
Yeah.
point. You get bronze. You're like, time to go back
Mhm.
home. That's a long ass plane ride.
Yeah, I was mentally, physically exhausted, drained. I have nothing left and I can't put on a face anymore. Like I physically could not wait to land in Houston, and they made us go to New York to do like the Today Show and so I got my hair and makeup done, whatever. Still putting on a great face because I'm like, all I want to do is hold my mom and cry. I want my mom. Like, I just want my mom.
And like, just first today, so sweetie, smile.
Yes.
You're like,
And so as soon as we landed in Houston, again, there was at the gate so many cameras, so I still had to put on a face. I couldn't break down. But I hugged my mom and I just like felt comforted. But I couldn't break down until we got home. And guess what? When I got home, they threw a parade. And they were like, get ready, Simone. We have a parade through the neighborhood. Like, get your convertible, smile and wave. I just wanted to have a breakdown, and I didn't want to have it. This mental breakdown, it was waiting.
no, it is sitting in your chest. You're
A
like,
horrible
when can I
cavity.
sob? When can I sit in my bed for 48
Yes.
hours and not leave and just sob?
Yeah.
And you had to do a parade.
Yeah, parade.
At that point, you're like,
I just wanted to cry.
will the tears even come at this point? I've been holding
I just
them in.
wanted to cry and be like, this was the shittiest thing ever. I don't know why it happened. I just wanted to sulk in my feelings and to be by myself. And I didn't want anybody to tell me that it was okay anymore. Because I'm tired of everybody telling me it's okay. It's okay to you. It's not okay to me. What happened was not okay. Like, so that was that.
So when did you break down?
Probably when I had to unpack that suitcase. And then I went on tour, and I was hosting my own tour across America, Gold Over America, which was absolutely amazing. The fans, the kids, beautiful. We put together an amazing production. But like even before some of those shows, I had therapy. I can't recall what time our shows started, but say it started at 7. I would be on therapy from like 4:30 to 6. And then I would give myself an hour to get ready. And some days Jordan would come in my room because I had my own room. I'd be bawling my eyes out trying to put on my makeup because I'm talking to my therapist about the Olympic experience. Put on my face. Wow, hi, Gold Over America. Love to see you. Like crazy.
It's like,
Yeah. But it was fun, and I will cherish every stop and every show that we got to put on.
Totally.
But it was just like behind the scenes, just nobody knew.
Well, no, and that's what I appreciate you sharing that because
Yeah.
it doesn't take away from you an amazing experience
Yeah.
with those people, but it's like, again, shows the level of strength
Mm-hmm.
you have of like, you know, Simone Biles, the public
Yeah.
person, and what she needs
Yeah.
to do to show up. But like, were you, and I don't want you to share what you're comfortable because therapy is sacred, but like, in those sessions, are you going beat by beat, or are you
Yeah.
just talking about the overall feeling and experience?
For me, since it was a new therapist, which
God.
yeah,
Is that good or bad timing? I'm like,
it was a new therapist, and every time I'm with the new therapist, it feels a little bit uncomfortable. So I like to start by saying like, hey, I'm like an onion, let's peel the layers. Like I'm an open book anywhere else, but with trauma, it has to be by layers because listen, I still have to put on face. I still have to go do these shows. I don't, so it was kind of layers by layers, but like the compartmentalizing that we do as an athlete And just as a human, I know a lot of us do it, was insane, and I don't know how I got through it. But honestly, I think the tour helped me get out there and realize there's more to life than gymnastics. And I honestly thought, since I didn't compete at the Olympics in the way that I was supposed to, and that we didn't win gold, I thought nobody was going to show up to my tour stops. And night after night, it kind of filled my cup up because all of these girls and the fans came out. And I remember after a show, sometimes we get to see our family, but since COVID, it wasn't too much family. But my family and some of the producers were at a show, and we were in the back. We were eating dinner after the show, and I broke down crying. And I was like, I cannot believe people are still showing up. Why are they showing up? We didn't win. And that's when I realized, like, holy crap.
It's not about that.
Yeah. But I always thought it was because that was ingrained in my head, and that's what everybody told me.
That's heavy.
Yeah, it was crazy. I've learned so much about myself in such different Olympic experiences that now having another Olympic year in a cycle, like, it's traumatizing in a way to walk into. But I feel like at this point, nothing can break me. It's like I've just been through so much trauma, so much healing. I'm actually excited to see what happens after this.
I was going to say, like, in a strange way, because I was thinking about, I'm actually, like, I feel like I can visualize, oddly, like, that scene of you opening that suitcase.
Yeah.
And just, like, sitting there with it in front of you of, like, and the emotions and everything you're feeling from what you just tried to run away from, kind of, is sitting there going now to this new phase. It's a little traumatizing, you're right, to be like, am I going to do that again?
Yeah.
Like, I'm
going to put myself through this.
Right.
Yeah.
When you were home, when was the first time you tried the vaults again? Like, did you go immediately into the gym? What was the situation?
That's what I wanted to do, but since we had tour, there was no way for me to really get into a gym and train like that. But I was so traumatized. So after tour, I kind of put it under the rug. That's for another time. I would go into the gym and train, like, play around. I wouldn't say train. I would go into the gym, go see the girls, and I would just go jump on the trampoline and do back flips, back tucks. Like, people call it back flips. That's why I'm saying back flips. But I would go do back tucks, and even that felt kind of weird because I'm like, whoa. But I hadn't done that in a year because I took off a year or more. And every time I went to the gym, it was kind of traumatizing. And so every time I'd flip, I just, like, flashbacks to Tokyo. Oh, I'm going to get lost. I'm going to get lost. And Laurent would always come over and he's like, okay, go into the pit. Let's do a full. And I'm like, I'm here to see the girls. I just wanted to jump on the tramp.
You're like, I'm just, like, here to jump on the trampoline.
Yeah.
Like, calm down.
He would make me twist and go back to the basics. And I wasn't even training. I literally would just come visit. And he didn't want me to have that feeling because and before that, I would watch gymnastics on TV and the girls would be twisting and I'd be, like, cringing. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. I can't. Because I can't picture myself doing it because I took so much off.
What was the lowest point of the entire Tokyo aftermath and experience?
I would say it wasn't even in Tokyo, unfortunately. I think it's whenever I decided to come back and train and getting over those demons. Because there were so many days I would come back in the gym and it was like 1 step forward, 5 steps back. 1 step forward, 5 steps back. Because as soon as I got lost, one time, get lost, pack my bags, I'm out of there. Why am I putting myself through this? Hell no. So I would literally, like, I left so many times. It was frustrating for both me and Laurent because he didn't fully understand the twisties. And for a lot of the time as gymnasts, we know it happens, but it's very unspoken of. And whenever it happens, you pretend it doesn't happen.
Huh. Why? Why is that?
It's not a good feeling. It's dangerous. It's like horrible. It's scary.
But you don't want to speak up because then you're like, I don't want to be out.
Yeah, and then the other girls will look at you and they feel like once you get lost, it's going to happen to them.
Got it.
So it feels contagious.
Interesting.
So whenever they were looking at me and doing it, it just, like, it's so weird. And so we had to go back to the basics. And honestly, like, the whole year, whenever Laurent, last year, he told me I was competing, I was like, how can I compete? I'm not over the twisties yet. Because every time I went to bars or beam or floor, I was praying that I did the amount of twist I was supposed to. Like, I was so traumatized for this experience that I'm just now feeling better. And even walking into the gym, some days I feel like I'm gonna get lost because I know why it happened, but like, I'm like, I hope that's the reason.
Right.
So, yeah, even I'm just now feeling comfortable without, yeah. So it's crazy because like I went through world championships. Everybody's like, she's back. And like, if we would have had one more day of world championships, I think just mentally from convincing myself that I can do it so many times and you're fine, twisting. I think I would have just broke down and been like, I just can't, like, mentally I couldn't do it anymore. Not physically. I think physically I would have been able to do it. But if there were one more day of worlds, I wouldn't have done it.
Because I think what people I hope understand is like there's this mental taxing aspect of like when you fail at something, you can't unsee it.
Exactly.
And you can't unfeel it. So you're trying to remove yourself and you're trying to push it as far away as possible.
Yeah.
But your brain has experienced it once. So you need to be so mentally strong to lock that so far in the corner.
Yes.
But it's hard.
Yeah.
So when did you approach your coaches and say, I want to come back?
Well, it was kind of funny because the conversation didn't go how I thought it was going to go.
Oh, okay.
And so I think I requested a meeting or whatever with Cecile and Laurent, and we ended up at their house and brought my husband, you know, my little blanket. And I was like, okay, I want to go back to the Olympics. I want to do this. And they're sitting across the table and they look at me and they're like, no. And I was like, huh? I just told you I want to go to the Olympics. Like, I want to go back to the Olympics. Let's do this.
Wait, like scream for me?
Yes. And they were like, no. And I was like, what's happening? I'm like, what's going on? And they were like, no, you've set expectations for yourself for so long. Let's just go back in the gym, get in shape, and see what happens. And I was like, so we're not going to the Olympics? We're not training for the Olympics?
You're like, we ain't going to Paris?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
And so that was really weird to me because I thought they were going to be on board. Like, yes, we have the process laid out.
Let's go.
And they just said no. And I was like, do I get new coaches? Like, what's going to happen? And I was like, oh, you're right. And he was like, let's not just think about the Olympics right now. Let's think about maybe getting your skills back, twisting comfortably again, doing this. And I was like, oh, those things?
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But then can we go to the Olympics?
Yes. And that's kind of how we started it. And then I didn't think I was competing at Classics last year. And he was like, yeah, you're competing. Here's your Leos. Here's this. Here's that. I was like, what? No, we weren't going to the Olympics.
So I can officially ask, and you can confirm, like, the goal is to go to Paris.
If all goes well, I'm training. Yeah.
The goal is to go to Paris.
Yes.
So if you're going to Paris, how are you approaching the games differently compared to previous years?
I think just working on my mind and my body more than I have, or continuing to work on my body and my mind, just like I have the past year and a half, and it's worked. And so to just stay on top of that. It's exhausting, but like I have to do it. It's working. I didn't think therapy was going to work, and it's working. So
therapy is the most incredible thing that I have always said to people. Like, you do, though, need to get into it when you're ready.
Yes.
It's like so many people can tell you to go, and if your body and brain is not ready to go, it's not even going to penetrate. You're going to be like, I don't feel shit.
And you're not going to open up. You're not going to talk. You're not going to be vulnerable. You're not going to let those demons out. So it worked out for the better.
I think I saw an interview of you where you were like, which I kind of loved, you were like, people ask you your goals if you're, for the Olympics. And you're like, I'm not sharing my goals because I'm so sick of people then like shoving them in my face if I don't hit it. And I think that's good for you to set boundaries with press. Can I ask, though, like a personal, like not having to do with gymnastics, a personal goal mentally for you that you're going to carry through?
I would say to keep up with my therapy, even on those hard days, because I have dodged a couple of those sessions.
Oh, yeah. You're like, sorry, I'm like a little busy. That's so relatable. You're like,
And she knows I have my days off, so I do it the same day every time. And she's like, Simone, are you there? And I was like, no.
Sorry, I'm not here. That's the worst when your therapist calls you out. It's like, why? I know you're free. And you're like, no, I'm not. And they're like, and those are the ones that they always get mad at you because they're like, those are the sessions you need the most. That's
what she tells me. But my phone's on. Do not disturb.
You're like, I can't hear you.
I missed it. I'm like, but I feel so guilty and so ashamed.
I do too when I ghost my therapist. Is there anything more toxic than ghosting your therapist? You're literally like, this is like the most toxic because it's the healthiest relationship you're in, but like so toxic.
So bad.
Sometimes you can't.
We need a break.
Sometimes I don't want to talk my feelings too much.
And sometimes it's like exhausting. I just feel like a record on repeat. And again, it goes back to like, I feel like I should be healed by now. Mm-hmm. Now you're shoving this down my throat.
I hope you, and I know this to anyone going through mental health situations or survivors, whatever it is, like it is not on you to speed up the process of recovery from trauma that was not your fault. Yes. And so it's hard to, again, as athletes, you're trained to get over things so quickly, but this is one thing you have to like rewire your brain to be like, it's okay to feel this and don't shove it away. Yeah. Call your therapist. Yeah. Talk it through.
No, 100%. And I agree. And I think I've learned that with my therapy over the years. So I am very grateful that I'm in therapy and thankful for the resources we have, because before this, like, no athlete was very outspoken about doing therapy or this, that, the other, or even just getting help. So we are in a very fortunate situation that we're able to do that, and we're allowed to be vulnerable with our fans and with our community. So I guess I just want to say thank you to them too, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So,
okay, this is still Call Her Daddy. So I want to talk about your husband. You're married to an NFL player, Jonathan Owens. Yes. Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Libre by Yves Saint Laurent. Daddy Gang, Mother's Day is officially approaching, and there is nothing I love more than finding something unique and special for my mom that she will absolutely love. Lori, shout out. Moms do so much for us and wear so many hats. They deserve a fragrance that can keep them feeling confident and beautiful every step of the way. The YSL Libre fragrances make the perfect Mother's Day gift, Daddy Gang. The new Libre New has a fresh citrus floral scent and notes of green, mandarin, bergamot, orange blossom, and lavender, which are ideal now that we're in the spring season, okay? Plus, it's long-lasting, alcohol-free, and it comes in radiant, jewel-like white bottle that will look stunning on your mom's bathroom countertop. And if your mom likes a deeper, muskier scent, there's the iconic original Libre Eau de Parfum with warm, sultry notes of vanilla, orange blossom, and lavender. It'll leave people asking your mom what she's wearing everywhere she goes. And then she'll get the chance to brag about you a bit too, okay? The YSL Libre L'Eau New has truly become my signature scent, and every time I see my mom, she compliments me on it. I cannot wait to give her her own bottle and be like, here you go, Lori. Now we can smell the same, okay? Also, while I'm at it, I'm going to pick up a YSL original Libre Eau de Parfum for myself too. It's the best of both worlds. I need to restock, okay? Wearing a good YSL fragrance just makes me feel clean, classy, and put together, even if I'm in a pair of, sweats. Also, I found that the L'Eau New leaves my skin radiant and glowing, so it's a must-wear for any date night with Matt. You're welcome, Matthew. I'm obsessed with the YSL fragrance. They just constantly elevate every moment of my day, and I'm so excited to share them with my mom this spring. Shop Libre by Yves Saint Laurent at Sephora this Mother's Day. You're married to an NFL player, Jonathan Owens. Yes. You met on Raya, which first I just want to say, like, God bless you, because I had no luck on Raya. Okay, girl? Like, Raya was just doing nothing for me but, like, DJs in Australia. Yeah. So good for you.
You didn't have...
I had no luck.
I could have put your I could have changed your
settings.
Thank
you. Okay, well...
your settings were off.
Were they?
Athletes, check. 50 to 100 miles.
Listen, I had enough of my days with athletes, okay? Simone, I had to move on. What made his profile stand out?
I think First of all, boys are so different from girls because, like, we're picking the cutest backgrounds,
Totally.
the most aesthetically looking pictures. Like, and I wanted him to see, I didn't want to really show that I was a gymnast, so I didn't want to put like a gymnastic-y picture in there unless he had to click on my Instagram and then see I was a gymnast. So I didn't want that to be the first impression. So I was like, okay, face, not that much makeup, this, that, the other. But what stood out on his profile was just like, he seemed so charismatic. He had these little dimples, you know, the light eyes. And I was like, oh, he's so cute. And I think he had his bulldog on there. I was like, he has a dog. This is so cute.
That's how, I mean, even note to men listening, even if you don't own a dog, take a picture with the dog and put it on your profile because it will work.
To me, if he had a dog, that meant he was responsible.
I love that you think that is the first thing. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, he's so cute. Is that him laughing back there? Or someone's laughing?
But listen, then I went to his profile and I didn't know it was his nephew. And I was like, he has a kid.
Oh, no. You thought he had a kid?
I thought he had a kid. But then, you know, our soccer skills,
30 seconds, you figure it out.
Figured it out.
You figured out everyone. Yeah, of course.
So it was okay.
When did you start to realize he was the one?
I know.
No,
actually, and this is so cliche because everybody says this, but like the first time I met him, I came home from like our little date and stuff, and my friends were at my house, and I was like, I'm gonna marry him. Like, who says that? I don't know why I said that. I don't know what it is, but I just felt something. It would just like felt
what?
different.
Like the energy or
the energy, how well we got along, and like it was a COVID relationship. It was like March of 2020 whenever I went over. I had to go to his apartment to meet him. It wasn't in a public setting, and we knew it didn't want to be public because we're both like public figures. They just take pictures, whatever. But to go to his apartment, I was like,
right, like
for a first date. But we had no other choice. Everything was really shutting down in our city. Like that week, everything was starting to shut down. And so for me, I was like, let's just do a play date with the bulldogs. And he was like, because I have a bulldog too. And he was like, well, no, because then we'll be distracted by the dogs. And for me, I kind of sometimes like distractions that's away from me, so that like if it's awkward, I'm like, oh, my dog, look at her.
The dog is sitting on the floor.
Yeah, literally. So he was like, no, not for the first date. Then we'll introduce them. Like, and I was like, oh, okay.
Cute.
But then I walked in, and his dog was so excited he peed all over the floor.
That's
and
when
I was like, maybe girls aren't here very often.
Great sign. I love.
He's never seen a girl. The dog has never met a girl.
Context clues, Simone. You're genius. You're like, they've never seen a woman.
No,
or
never.
Even the delusion. You're like, they've never seen a woman. They're like, the delusion.
Yeah.
What is married life like?
To me, I mean, God, we were together the whole entire time. And then as soon as we get married, Green Bay's like, hey, we want to sign him. So we went from our wedding, dropped our bags, flew out the next morning, signed a Green Bay. And they were like, see you Monday, Jonathan. So as soon as we got married, it was long distance. So it was very different. Now he's back home. Now we're getting back into the groove of things. Because we're both on our schedules. We're both athletes. And I think that's what is so nice about our relationship is like we get to focus on our sports respectively, and then we get to focus on each other. But it's no different. We're still dating, you know? Yeah. We're about to be 4 years in. So yeah, married life is no different.
Okay. Jonathan, if you're listening, I don't even know if he's in this house yet.
I think he is.
We have to talk about the viral moment.
Yeah.
Like, we have to do it.
I knew you were going to ask
I have to. Jonathan's viral interview where he said he had no idea who you were and the internet went insane. What was your reaction when you heard the interview and everything?
I was in the room. I was sitting on the chair. You just couldn't see me on the videos. I was there for the whole entire video.
And you were feeling great.
I was feeling great. I was like, my man just killed that. And I was like,
Stop.
And I'm so excited. And like, they even panned over to me with that viral moment. And I just like roll my eyes and laugh because like, But the funny thing is whenever I met Jonathan, we were texting that week. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I don't have time to waste. So if we're going to meet, because if it goes over a week, you're not meeting. Like, forget this, you know. Yeah. And so we met that week. But whenever I would text him, anything I text him, he would say, I can do that. I can do that. So he could do everything. He was a comedian. He was a dog trainer. He was the best cook out there. He was the fastest runner. he could do everything. And that cracked me up about him. So I couldn't wait to meet him to be like, you're not funny. You're not a good cook.
You're not shit.
Yeah, literally. So I just thought that was funny because, and I thought that was cute that he thought he was good at everything because I'm like, I'm good at gymnastics.
Right, let me
and
show
he's like,
you.
I'm good at everything. And so whenever he did that interview, I thought everything was okay.
I'm dying that
And
you're
then
in the
I go on
corner.
Twitter and everybody's like, divorce this man. He's mean. And I'm like, he's the sweetest. He praises the ground that I walk on. Like, truly, I've never met a man like him. He still opens my doors. And I'm not saying that to be like, he still opens my doors because that's to be expected of men. But like, he truly goes out of his way to do anything for me. Today, I was like, babe, I'm at the gym and I forgot my camera. Can you bring it? And I meant to bring it to this house. He brought it to the gym.
No.
Like, he's just so sweet.
Right. He's just doing things like you feel loved and you feel supported. And
yeah,
obviously,
so I didn't think anything of that interview. And he never said I wasn't a catch. He said he was a catch because he is. I've never met a man like him. A lot of people that meet him are like, oh my gosh, like I want a man like that, like Jonathan. Like a lot of the girls at the gym, they love him. He's so nice to them. He supports them. He's so sweet. One of the girls at the gym, she's like my little sister. And we had gone to, I think we were at camp. And I always drive her to camp. So she drops her car off at my house and she parks it in the driveway. He got her windows tinted. He was like, you can't be fishbowling out here, and got her windows tinted. Like, he's the sweetest.
like he's thinking of the little things.
Yes.
I think what's crazy is, first of all, just as we know, the internet, like you
Oh my
never
God.
know what's going to go viral.
And they'll take it and run, and that's exactly what they did.
Why do you think people got so upset?
Because first of all, that interview had nothing to do with me. It was all for him. So I think they were mad that he didn't include me in the interview. But he has to have his moments too, and I let him have it. Whenever I go to football games, like, sometimes I get field passes, but I'm not like, hey, look at me, Simone Biles is here. I just want to see my man in that uniform. Give me a little kiss. Good luck out there. It's like, this is his moment. That's his interview. What was I supposed to interrupt that interview and be like, hey, da-da-da-da-da?
Right, like you're like, I actually like that you're like, sometimes I'm like, I want to have my wag moment on the field where I'm just like, I'm not Simone Biles, the Olympian. I'm just Simone Biles, like, and that's my boo on the field.
Yes, and I love to support him. So I think that they were mad that whenever they said he, and by the way, like, he said it, but Brian Clark, like, said it so many times, like, yeah, so you're saying, so it was kind of hyped up, you know, boys, whatever, like, those conversations, they're drinking their little tequila, whatever it is. So I think that was the thing. If it was that girls' moment, it's just different. That was like their fireside chat, that they're outside hanging with the boys, whatever. Like, there was nothing foul about it.
When that was all going crazy and trending, what are you guys saying to each other?
I thought it was hilarious what people were saying, divorce him, all of this crazy stuff. And like, he doesn't even like to say divorce. He's probably dying right now that I've said it like 6 times in a row.
Divorce.
Yeah, literally.
Divorce.
Because like that's, whatever. So I thought it was hilarious at first, and then they hurt my feelings. Right. And then like one night I broke down and I'm like, why are you guys talking about my husband like this? Yeah. Like, you don't know him, you don't know who he is, and if anybody's met him, they know he's the sweetest guy and will do anything for anybody.
Yeah, it was just perceived in not the correct way.
Yes, and so that really hurt that they were talking about my husband like that. Because for me, it's like, talk about me all you want, but don't come for my family. Never. Yeah. Like, because I've been in the limelight long enough where I can brush things off, have my little powwow about it. You're not going to know I cried about it, but I'd be crying about some stuff, you know? Right. But I only cry about it because I can't clap back. Just know that.
Why not? Why couldn't you?
I hurt their feelings.
You're like, you don't want me to clap back.
Yeah, and it's just like classy, you know? Classy. But yes, because whenever I was younger, I used to have Twitter fingers too. Oh, okay. Like my agent, like, Simone, can you take that down? No. You know, because I would go off on people because who are you to say? And so every now and then, if I say something, it's like slick and clever, but I can really go there.
Yeah, you're just like, it's better to not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Jonathan has never...
They're in the drafts.
Yeah. Oh. They're in the drafts. You draft them and you never send them.
Because if I at least type it out, I feel better.
Twitter. I hope someone hacks your Twitter and just rips. No, can you imagine? We're like, damn.
Because they're like quoted.
Literally. Okay, Jonathan has never gotten to go to the Olympics before with you. What are you most excited about for him to experience?
Well, hopefully he gets to go because that's usually like their training camp.
No.
And he's working on a new contract. So hopefully he'll work in his new contract at least like 2 days.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like, hey, personal day.
Yeah.
But some teams are really, really nice about like if you work with their family relations. Some are more family oriented than others. So fingers crossed we'll get to see him in the stands. So I'm excited for him to see that. One, I'm excited to see him to see the Olympics because football's not in the Olympics. And he always says it's like the harder sport. It's universal. And I'm like, so why isn't it in the Olympics if not every country does it?
Period.
But no, just to see that spirit. And I'm at Paris, I think they'll do a beautiful job. And he doesn't travel overseas too much. The first time he went overseas was like when I think he was on the Texans and they went to London. Like he had to get a passport. He never had a passport before.
Oh, so you're like, come with me, babe.
Yeah.
Let me show you the world.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay. Regardless of what happens in Paris,
Yeah.
what do you hope your legacy is?
To be an advocate for anything that I've been outspoken about, mental health, foster care, ADHD, whatever that is, but also just someone that gave it her all, never gave up, but also had fun and enjoyed her career because I think a lot of times athletes might look back at their career and be like, I wish I had more fun or I wish I did this differently. But I'm kind of at that age where I don't really have any more regrets because I'm a little bit older, I'm more mature. Everything I've done has kind of been on like my time, so I don't have regrets.
I think that is so beautiful. And I think first I would just like to thank you because hearing so much of what you're talking about, like you are so perceived on the internet and there's so much pressure and it's difficult to open up and sit and be honest and vulnerable. And I appreciate you trusting me with your story and this experience because I am such a huge fan of yours.
Thank
and I
you.
think you are so much more than gymnastics, but you are kick-ass badass as a gymnast, obviously
you.
the greatest of all time. Yeah. So I just cannot wait to see what's next for you. And I don't just mean obviously the Olympics, like just your life and your career and Simone Biles. And I love you. Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats. Oh my God, we did it. Yay!
Daddy gang, welcome back to another Sunday session here on Call Her Daddy. It is your father, okay? We are currently entering the peak of summer, right? And I was recently having a little wine night with one of my friends, and I was having a really productive and honest conversation with her. She's currently single, and I want to share with you some of the wisdom that came out of that conversation. So for any of my girls who need to hear this, my single girls who need to hear this, listen the fuck up.
Sunday morning, father's calling. Do 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 do. Every Sunday's Father's Day.
What the fuck? That was pretty good, right? I'm going to set the scene for you, okay? Picture this. The sun is very hot. You're hot. You're tan. Maybe you're 3 margaritas deep, okay? And you're scanning the beach for someone to make absolutely terrible decisions with. I see you. I support you. I honestly love that for you, okay? But before we dive in head first into a summer romance, we need to lay some of the ground rules, okay? I was thinking about it, and it's like there is a really fine line between a vacation romance, a summer fling, and then a full-blown situationship. And it is so fucking vital to your mental health and my mental health, so you don't write into me freaking out, that you know what you're getting yourself into and which one you're getting into. So I want to kind of break down the vacation romance. Back when I was single, which feels like ages ago, I personally loved a vacation hookup, okay? Maybe they're a local who knows all the good spots, or they're a foreigner with some like sexy accent. Maybe they're like a surf instructor with a fucking six pack, or maybe it's just like a fucking random guy that you match with on Tinder who's staying at your same hotel. Regardless, I feel like these whirlwind vacation flings can feel so special and hot and magical. But here is what I want you all to understand. They are only hot and special and magical because they're temporary. Okay? I want you guys to think about it like when you're meeting a guy on a trip, you are on vacation mode. You're not getting Slack notifications. You're not getting emails. You don't have a to-do list. You're just focused on your tan lines and maybe who you're going to skinny dip with, okay? So of course, no shit, that feels really euphoric. That's incredible. But that rush of excitement that you're feeling doesn't mean, now lean in and listen closely, it doesn't mean that that person is your soulmate. Listen, maybe they are. I feel like that has happened to someone obviously before, but it's very far and few in between. So I want to be realistic today. You need to know what you're getting into, that if you try to extend a vacation fling into the real deal, into the real world, you're at your happiest state when you are on a trip. That's just a fact, right? So it is so easy to get confused and think that this person is like, what is making you happy? It's not the pina coladas. It's not the like people that are being nice at the hotel. It's not the palm trees. Like it must be him. It must be love. No, it's not. Okay. Because think about it. When you get back to your normal life, could you really actually imagine being with them in your normal life? Because the sexy surfer guy that you met on the tropical beach somewhere, maybe he's not so sexy when he's freeloading at your apartment with no job, no friends, and his only real connection is to you. You know what I'm saying? Do you get where I'm going here? Like, my advice today for navigating vacation romances as we kick off summer is just let it be a beautiful memory, Daddy Gang. And don't try to ruin it by trying to force your vacation world into your actual normal world. Sure, you fucking bitch. You can toss them an Instagram follow. Totally fine. But what we don't need to do is start having a FaceTime relationship the second that your flight lands and pretending like you guys are in a full relationship. The last thing you want to do is have this really like fun weekend or week-long experience turn into a stretched out long distance thing. No, Daddy Gang, we don't need this. Not every single guy that you meet or girl you meet, it doesn't have to always end in a notebook romance. Do you get what I'm saying? So that is a vacation situation. So to all of my bitches that have, Miami or the Jersey Shore or California or whatever, wherever you're going this summer for vacation, keep that in mind, okay? It's fun. And then leave the fun there and go back to your reality. Okay, now I want to talk about summer flings or summer hookups, okay? Because these are an entirely different game than a vacation hookup. This is probably going to be someone that is in your city, right? Someone that you could be seeing like semi-regularly. And the most important part is this is someone that you know isn't long-term material. Let's really let that sink in. Let's let that thing sink in, okay? A summer fling is not long-term material. They have an expiration date. And that, in my opinion, when I look back on any summer fling I ever had, like that's part of the appeal, right? Because you don't get bothered per se by parts of this person that would actually annoy you in an actual relationship, right? Like maybe you find all of their fucking friends annoying. That's fine. You won't see them after August. You're just having really good fucking sex. Maybe you hate their fucking shitty car. Who cares? You only need it for a backseat hookup. Even if they're unemployed, even better. Like actually really fucking hot. You have more time to day drink in the sun together. It's like your dates with a summer fling should be so light. Beach days, ice cream dates, spontaneous hookups on the beach. Like you're not even trying to go to like white tablecloth dinners or have long emotional conversations and talks about your fucking childhood. June, July, August, That's fine. That's it. So fun. But once we hit the end of August, my biggest advice is you need to be really careful if this person is still around. You're all like, okay, Alex, this is like, what the fuck? But I'm being dead serious. If you want to keep seeing this person past that 3-month summer mark, this is what I realized having drinks with my girlfriend, because it's happened to me and I know it could happen to you. And so I don't want it to happen to you. If you keep seeing this person past summer, you're going to enter into situationship territory. And who the fuck wants that? No, seriously. Like, because also when I say that, the rules for a situationship are so fucking different from the rules of a summer fling. And I'm saying rules, when I'm saying this, I'm just actually trying to make you not get hurt or not get strung along or not string someone along. Like, I'm just trying to help you guys here. Obviously do whatever the fuck you want. But in my opinion, no matter who the person you're talking to is during summer, by, I think, that 3-month mark, someone always is going to start to have feelings. Most of the time it's not both. It's usually one. And all of a sudden you find yourself like, maybe we're checking his follower list, right? And you're spiraling about like whether he's still on dating apps or not, right? Like you're starting to become a little creep. Like the minute you feel like a creep, you've taken it too far, okay? Don't be a creep, okay? Get it together. Like, this is not the fun fling that you were going for all summer. Carefree, so fun, so fun. And now all of a sudden, you're a creep. Like, how did that happen? All of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, like, I know who he follows. Like, if you know at least 5 girls by their profile picture that he follows, creep. Like, I've been there, creep. Like, that's not what we want, okay? And if you find yourself in this accidental situationship with someone, in my opinion, again, my opinion, it's okay if you want me to fuck off, but in my opinion, here are the rules. Number 1, I think you need to be real about what you want for yourself outside of this person. Do you want to stay single? Are you ready for a real relationship? What dating goals do you have for yourself, and do they align with the person that you're seeing? And if they don't, okay, thank him for his service, but let's keep it fucking moving and move the fuck on. So that's number 1. We're clear about what we want. Number 2, you need to clarify exclusivity. Honey, are you one of the 10 girls on their roster? And are you okay with him dating other people? Like, what happens if he starts to get serious with someone else? I know, obviously, the exclusivity conversation is the actual fucking worst, but, and you obviously, like, you don't need to ask, like, what are we? Just try to get a sense of clarity on how many we's this person has. Because the more we's, you're just still a creep. Truly though, like, you need to be real with yourself, because I know you bitches, because I've done it too. I'm the only one. Or even if you find out he has a couple others, you're like, but I'm his favorite. Excuse me. No. Again, if you're okay with that, that's what I'm saying. If you're okay with that, if you're okay of being one of many, if you're okay with kind of like sharing the cock, right? Like, ooh, you hop on that thing on Monday and I'll swirl around and sit on it on Wednesday. Like, oh my God, amazing. As long as you're okay with that. But for the most part, bitches, don't fucking lie to me. We convince ourselves we're okay with it, and we're fucking rattled. We can't sleep. We're having weird dreams. We're getting heat sweats. Like, we're not okay with it. If you run into him at the bar and he's with another fucking girl, are you gonna just like take a shot and brush it off and be totally fine? Or are you going to have a full-blown mentee be in the bathroom and drunk text him 36 times later that night, I thought you loved me? No, you creep. He never loved you. And he let you know that, but you got so in your fucking head and you were like making up this romance novel that never existed. It never existed. So these are the things you unfortunately do need to think about, or else you're going to get hurt, right? And if you are looking to keep someone around on your fall lineup, you need to be thinking about these things, because when you start a relationship as chill and then you potentially want to progress it to more serious, there needs to be a fucking conversation. No one is just knowing that all of a sudden our fucking orgies, now you want to be monogamous with me. Like, you got to say it out loud or he's not going to know, okay? It's not going to get easier. This is like so depressing. You're all like, okay, when does it like get fun? No, but I'm being honest. I think you need this pep talk, you guys, because if I was single, I would want to hear this too. We throw ourselves into summer. We have so much fucking fun. And then all of a sudden we think we're getting a ring. And instead you don't even get a call. You don't even get a call back. It's not going to get easier if you don't have honest conversations with yourself. And then to kind of tie this all up, I want to talk just about finally the situationship rule number 3 in my head. And it's kind of what I've been saying, and it's kind of a culmination of everything, but keep your expectations low. This man is not your boyfriend. He does not owe you emotional support. This is a fuck buddy with a penis and occasional non-sexual hangout privileges. But really, if we're honest with ourselves, the only reason that you guys are hanging out, it's almost like the hangout is foreplay to the casual sex. You know what I mean? So when you catch that your emotional state is starting to depend on where you are at with this guy, it is time to be real with yourself. That is the immediate red flag in your head. Wait, I'm checking his Instagram too much. I somehow know his aunt's name. I know all of his ex-girlfriends' names by heart. I actually can memorize the weddings they went to together and all of their friend group and his favorite food. And you know too much. You know too much. The summer fling to situationship to relationship pipeline is rare. And it's not one that I recommend. It's really fucking rare that it works out. Also on Call Her Daddy, I've always said we don't believe in cuffing season over here just because it gets fucking cold outside. Like, we're not like, I guess we'll just date now because no. That's how you end up dating a guy you never even saw a future with in the first place. But it was just like, it's cold. I want to drink hot cocoa and decorate a fucking tree with him. Yeah, bitch, call your fucking mom. So, daddy gang, have fun this summer. You're all like, how? How the fuck am I supposed to have fun, Alex? You literally just made me want to be fucking celibate. No. You're going to have fun this summer and make some memories. Scrapbook it up. But when summer ends, my biggest advice is you're going to let the fling end too. I promise you will thank me in the fall. And again, there's going to be the 1% of you. Isn't it so nice to be a part of the 1%? If you're one of those fucking bitches that meets this tanned god and he's a lifeguard or something and he's saving you, and then you hook up later that night, and then you go to a party and his friends are normal and then you're hooking up, and then it's good, and all of a sudden it's September and then it's October and you're going to fucking festivals where you get, what the fuck are the Halloween things called, where you get on the thing and you go to the haunted house and you're doing all these fun little things and you're making cookies together, and then he asks you to be his girlfriend. Good for you, you fucking whore, okay? But that's not most of our experiences. It's a wham, bam, fuck me in the back of your truck. You accidentally put it in my asshole, and now I'm in love with you. And oh my God, little did I know, you have a wife. That's the reality. Men are liars. That's what this whole episode is actually about. Men are disgusting. And men will make you think, oh yeah, baby, it was just his Monday, baby. And then his next Tuesday, he's fucking your sister. And you're like, wait, I thought we were in love. You were in love with the idea of him because you met him in the summer. When I met you in the summer. That's why that song was created. Who sings that? Calvin Harris? Don't care. The point is, don't let yourself be a victim of thinking it's going to be more than a fucking vacation little romance, a summer fling. Situationships are the fucking worst. Unless you're just like horny as fuck and you just want to have so much sex. Yeah, go for it, you fucking bitch. Love you. Okay, I hope that was helpful to kick off this glorious summer. And, no one should be feeling depressed. It's actually really quite helpful. We avoid feelings and we acknowledge when things are sexual and fun. And if you want to dip into your feelings, then you need to be straight up with someone. That's all it is. This is my favorite time of a Sunday session, obviously, is to take a trip. We are going to slurp down our throats a little escargot. We're going to look at the skinny men's smoking cigarettes, and we're going to fuck them till the sun comes up, because we are taking a first class flight. Yes, on me. First class flight. We're flying first class up in the sky, because we are going to a little place I'd like to go. Little place I'd like to go. Questions of the motherfucking week. Questions of the motherfucking week. Questions of the motherfucking week. Okay. Do you guys want to answer some questions? Let's get into it. Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Neutrogena. Summer is here and the sun is shining. You need powerful sun protection that feels light on your skin. Meet Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Sunscreen. This SPF 70 lotion absorbs fast with a smooth, dry touch finish, so you'll forget you're even wearing it. It blocks 97% of burning UV rays and is water resistant for up to 80 minutes. Lightweight, effective, and perfect for sunny days. It's just what your summer needs. Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Sunscreen. You can't feel. Shop now at Target. Call Her Daddy is brought to you by White Claw. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're way too hot to be spending the summer sitting inside scrolling on your phone. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop letting plans die out in the group chat. Grab a White Claw and go make some memories, okay? Whether you're yapping poolside, hitting a barbecue, or just kicking back around a fire, a cold White Claw goes perfectly with your summer plans. That's right, Daddy Gang. It is White Claw summer. 100 calories in 12 glorious ounces, gluten-free, and the taste you know and love. I like to pick up a variety pack so that I can guarantee everyone can get their favorite flavors. I am personally through and through always a black cherry girl, but Matt loves the mango and Lauren's favorite is lime. So there's truly something for everyone. It's time to come out of hibernation and stop leaving everyone on red. We're finding a guy with a boat and we're having a damn drink. My friends and I strictly drank White Claw for an entire girls trip last year, and now I can't even smell sunscreen without being reminded of that trip. It was honestly the best time ever. There is nothing better than warm sun, a tiny bikini, tiny bikini, and an ice cold claw in your hand. That is peak life. Pick up a pack from your favorite local spa and grab life by the claw with your favorite flavor this summer. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer works. Chicago, Illinois. Question 1. How do I tell my boyfriend that his mom can't stay with us when she comes to town? She lives out of state and frequently visits. She always stays for a week minimum. I don't want to be that girlfriend who bitches about this, but I just love my own space and hate constantly hosting. I also feel like I'm being judged for every little thing in the house when she's here. Is it rude to ask if he can get her a hotel the next time? Oh my gosh. Okay. First of all, I so feel for you because this was like a thing Matt and I dealt with in the beginning of our relationship, where Matt could host every night, every day, everywhere. And when I'm in my house, I feel like such an introvert, and I had to explain to him, like, it's not that I don't want to host, I just need to have a better cadence with it and not be doing it so frequently, because I recharge in my house and I feel like I can't be my full self when obviously people are here and I'm hosting. And so the fact that this is your mother-in-law, I can imagine how difficult of a dynamic it is to bring this up to your boyfriend, my first bit of advice is like, you need to tread really carefully, because some guys with their moms are such fucking freaks and they act actually like they're still sucking from their mom's titty. So just be wary, you know what I mean? Also, that's like a good sign. Like if he's like actually crazy about it, he probably wants to fuck his mom, but that's for another time. It doesn't feel like he wants to fuck his mom. It more feels like he's treating it like this is his mom and he's comfortable with his mom being there, and this is your mother-in-law, so this is your space. It's weird to have a woman or anyone staying in your home for a week, all like multiple times during the year. That's a lot. So I'm validating you, that's a lot. If it was a weekend, like twice a year, totally fine. A week, every few months, I would be like, I gotta move out. If anything, get me a fucking hotel room. Let me go for a fucking little spa trip while you and your mom bang it up. But no, I think this would be my advice to you. I think you could sit your boyfriend down and be like, hey, I was just thinking about it because I love your mom so much, and I always think about it like, wow, she's so lovely and respectful when she comes, and I do love spending time with her, but I feel like a week when she's here is just a lot, and it almost has nothing to do with her. It has to do with me, of like having someone in our space for a week. I feel like I can't be my true self. Like if I want to just go sit and relax after a long day of work and be in silence, like obviously I'm not going to ignore your mom while she's sitting in the living room and stuff, or we don't get as much alone time, or we don't get to decompress after going to dinners with her. Like it's hard for me to find a balance, and it's impacting me in a way that I don't like how I'm feeling. So I was wondering if we could compromise and either have her stay on weekends, but then if she's going to stay the full week, maybe we get her a hotel. So like during the work week, we can just have our normal life, and then we can obviously go to dinners or whatever with her. But I just need a little help with boundary setting here, because I don't want this to come off like I don't love your mom. I'm just feeling like I don't love people in my space for that amount of time. Because girlfriend, who the fuck wants their mother-in-law living with them for a fucking week? I'm sorry, Lisa, I love you. If you're listening to this, bitch fucking knows. I'm like, my mother-in-law would know. She literally will be here and she'll be like, okay, you want me to leave? I'm like, yes, love you, bye. Like I also don't love the lack of awareness from your mother-in-law. That's why I'm saying you have to tread lightly, because from my experience with my mom and Matt's mom, like they know we love them and we also like our alone time, to the point where I'm like, I'm surprised she hasn't been like, oh my gosh, you guys, I feel like I'm like too in your space. I'm going to give you guys time. That's where I'm like, ooh, this could be tricky. So maybe compromise on starting with more of like a, maybe she stays for the weekend, or overall, let's just get her a hotel super close by. And if your boyfriend reacts like a crazy person and defends his mom and acts like you're crazy, I'm here to tell you, you're not crazy. Mother-in-laws in your space, that is a recipe for a mental break, honestly. And we don't need that. You know what I mean? So guard your boundaries, but have a calm conversation with him. Also, last point, and this is really how you'll probably even know if you want to marry this man. When he brings this up to his mother, if he is down for what you're presenting, in no fucking world should this man present it to his mom like, oh, it was Casey's idea. No. We're presenting this as a united front. If anything, you take the fucking hit, bitch, because you came out of her, okay? It's your mother. She'll love you forever, but it's too dicey. So make sure that he is presenting it in a way that's not making you look in a bad light, because then it's just going to be a whole new spew of problems, and you don't need that. Okay, next question. I'm getting married this fall and made a mistake. I sent a save the date to a coworker I no longer want at the wedding. No one at my office likes her, but I always gave her a chance until she fucked me over in front of my boss last week. I know it's my wedding and I can invite who I want, but I'm worried it will come off in a bad way if I don't follow through. Will I look like the mean girl? How do I handle this at work, and what do I even say to her? Okay, first of all, that it's really fucking shitty, but my first note to you is your wedding is not a charity event, and your wedding is also not a co-workers mingling happy hour event. This is your wedding, and it is a day to be completely about you. And so if you're having regret, and also it's one thing if you're having regret, it's another thing if this person literally just fucked you over at work, I get are in a weird position, but I would rather you be in a weird position to end this rather than get to your wedding and have someone there that you don't like. So yes, it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but let's also make sure that you're not compromising just to make someone feel good. So this would be my advice. It's tough because since it's a work dynamic and you're going to see her obviously when you come back from your wedding, I don't think you need to tell her. Obviously, it's up to you, but like you have to see this woman every day. It's one thing if it's a friendship breakup, but like this is someone you work with, right? So my advice would be you send a text or you say it in person. You said you only sent a save the date. You didn't send them like the official now new invite of like details and everything of the wedding. So I think you could text her and say, hey, I wanted to let you know that over the past month or two, my husband and I have been going through our wedding list, and due to a bunch of different circumstances, we are pulling back on the number of guests, and I don't think you're going to be able to come now. And I just wanted to let you know, no hard feelings, and appreciate your support, and leave it at that. And I think that if she comes at you and is anything other than totally understand, fuck that bitch. Because, you're going to come at me for a second. First of all, why would you shouldn't even be at my wedding. You should have the fucking self-awareness to not even think you should come. Hopefully she was never even going to come, right? Because she just fucked you over in front of your boss. But if she gets nasty with it, like, wow, other coworkers are going and I'm not coming, like, got it, like Macy, like you're a fucking cunt, I think you just leave it. I don't think in the wake of your wedding, I don't think that you need drama, and sending this text is going to give you temporary anxiety, but then it's going to alleviate so much anxiety on the day that actually matters. So be straight up, but not fully. Unless you want to, and you can be like, hey, I don't really appreciate everything that went down the other week with our boss. I felt like you were undermining me and it made me look in a really bad light. And I know I sent you a save the date. And I don't even have like ill will towards you, but because it is my wedding, I don't want to have anyone there that I'm not on like perfect, great terms with. And I don't feel that way with you right now. And so respectfully, I'm going to decline the offer. And maybe when I'm back, we can look to like repair things. But for right now, I want to have a clear head for my wedding and I don't want drama. Either one, being more direct or a little less direct, do it. You will feel so much fucking better. I remember Matt and I had a couple people, but one person kind of like more specifically that we just like, we knew they would think they were going to be invited to our wedding. And at the same time, we were like, I don't want to invite them. And we almost were having like over dinner conversations when we would talk about our wedding leading up to, we would find ourselves getting anxiety about this one person. And it was someone more in Matt's life. And then finally, I remember just being like, babe, pause, listen to us. We're not even focusing anymore on like how this is a day about us and our love and our marriage and our family. Like this, we have our answer. And it was so fucking hard, but I'm so happy we didn't invite them. And I look back and we still say we made the right decision. So trust your gut on this one. And I'm really fucking sorry. That's so shit. You don't want drama around your wedding, but to make you feel better, everyone has drama around their wedding. And if this is the peak of it for you, girl, you got out fucking easy. Okay. Next question. Okay. Hi, Father. How do I stop comparing my boyfriend to my friends' partners? I'm 29 and most of my friends are in their early 30s with partners in their mid 30s. My boyfriend is 26, so he's kind of a decade behind when it comes to career and finances. I get insecure sometimes because he still is starting out and we don't really have the same financial stability as my friends and their partners. I know it's not his fault. He has a good job and is working hard, but I can't help feeling a little jealous when I see my friends' partners and what they bring to the table. Okay. Oh my God. I have a lot of thoughts. and I'm going to just be really honest. And obviously, you know your situation better than anyone. So, and I don't have all the details, but I'm just going to kind of rattle off some of my thoughts. Number one, for me, I think I would have a hard time dating a younger man. More in that like 20-30 range. Obviously, if you were like in your 50s, 60s redating, like sure, but it's like that pivotal time where I feel like maturity is a big, obvious, glaring thing. Like it's like you can almost tell like when someone's in their 20s versus their 30s, right? And my worry for you is when you're writing this, if you felt really secure with your relationship, which you're saying, I guess you're saying you don't, you're saying you get insecure sometimes. My worry is this is something that is highlighting a bigger issue in your relationship. If you were madly in love with this person and you thought they were so talented and smart and all the things, I don't know if you would be saying this. Again, I think it's normal to compare. That's literally all we do in life, right? You're comparing how you look compared to someone. You're comparing your job, your house, your finances, your looks, your outfits, your family dynamics, your status, like all of it. That's normal. But the fact that you're feeling insecure about your partner, I've had that in a different way, and like it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away because if you really are in love with someone and you feel good about them, you would find holes in your friends' partners and be like, yeah, but they have that, but like he has this. You know what I mean? And I worry for you that him being younger and not where you want him to technically be could potentially be something that keeps eating at you throughout your relationship. I could be completely wrong, and I may be projecting because I have a friend that was in this situation a few years ago where it was just like eventually she was like, I feel like I'm dating a kid. And I didn't think that the 4 or 5 year age gap was going to impact me. But I guess men naturally are more immature than women, and it takes them longer to mature. So there's a lot of factors that are up against you. So I think you need to sit with yourself and recognize, is this literally just because of a money thing? That is so fucking normal to feel insecure financially at stages in your life when other people have not that burden. Totally fair. But look underneath the hood, and is it like, or are you also kind of like, I feel like I'm insecure because I'm dating him and he's not this and he's not that and he's not this, and we're all in our 30s at this stage and he's like a baby and just graduated college and is trying to figure his shit out. But I'm sorry, that I'm sure that's weighing on you, but you'll know the answer. Like you will know. Would it solve everything if he had all the money in the world? I don't know. You will know that within yourself. And last thing I'll leave you with, and this is something that I talk about with my friends and Matt all the time, is like, please keep in mind when you're looking at your friends and their relationships, it doesn't mean that they have it all too, right? Like you are looking at something that is clearly an insecurity of yours. They have more financial stability. Therefore, they are able to do more things. They can go to more concerts. They can go out for more dinners. They can go to nicer places, whatever it be. That's your insecurity in your relationship. So you're projecting and you're looking at them being like, oh, they have it all. But they all may be going through their own shit. Maybe there's some of your friends that like haven't had sex in months and their romantic physical connection isn't there. Maybe there's people that are actually overspending and it looks like they're enjoying themselves, but they're also in financial situation that they're not feeling like. We don't know. Maybe they're fighting, or they're great. Regardless, we always look at people, and when they have something that we don't have, we can get insecure and feel like, damn, I want that, but really you don't want that because that's not your relationship. You know that you don't have the same type as your friend. You know that that guy wouldn't be as good for you because you know what I mean? So everything is relative, but it's tough. I completely acknowledge that. I have definitely been victim of it. Okay. Oh my God. I chose this one for all the girls. Daddy, I need help. I have a serious shopping problem. I spend way too much money on shoes, clothes, jewelry, purses, everything. Fashion's always been how I express myself, and buying new stuff makes me feel like I'm keeping up. But I'm supposed to be saving for a wedding and a house later this year, and I cannot stop spending. I went through my closet the other day and had a full-blown panic attack when I realized how much I've spent on stuff I've worn maybe once. I don't know how to stop. Please help me get it together. Girl, you came to the right place. I totally get it. Like, I have been someone that on Sundays, to not get the Sunday scaries, it relaxes me to watch Grey's Anatomy and scroll on and shop. And maybe I'm not even buying some of the shit, but it's nice and fun to scroll. I think that's like a normal thing for girls to shop. It does sound like you obviously have a little bit more of a problem where you can't stop yourself. You're even saying that there's some stuff in your closet that you have not even like worn. Here would be my advice. I don't know if this is a little too extreme, but maybe try it. It could help. I think maybe you should go on a 30-day fashion shopping fast. And I think you should, even if you want to like go and shop online, but don't buy anything, even just like put links into your notes app and be like, once the 30 days is over, I want to buy this. And then if you still want to buy it, well, that's on you. But 30 days without shopping. And instead, what I would do, and I've actually been annoyed with myself, and I think everyone does this, you buy something and you barely wear it. I would urge you in these 30 days of your shopping fast to go into your closet and do a couple things. Number one, put outfits together with things that you haven't worn and force yourself to wear it that day. Like, I think we all get into a habit of kind of having a closet of stuff, but you wear pretty similar stuff. You have your go-to shirt, you have your go-to jacket, pants, all the things. And if you haven't worn it in a while, force yourself to wear it. And if you are like, I actually don't want to wear it, why don't you go and sell it? Go on Poshmark, go on eBay, go on the RealReal, like go and sell the shit and make your money back of the stuff that you're actually not buying and you just bought on a shopping whim. But overall, I think you need to look at yourself. And if you can't make it the 30 days, you may actually need to get into therapy and get some help, because this does sound a little bit like an addiction, and you don't want to continue your life where you are blowing all of your finances on clothes that you're also barely fucking wearing. But yeah, let's do a fast. Maybe I'll do it with you. Who knows? Okay, this one's fucking heavy. Call Her Daddy is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Back in my dating app days, there was truly nothing worse than swiping on a cute guy, setting up a date, and then meeting him in person and finding out that he wasn't what he appeared to be. Okay, sometimes he would be 5 inches shorter than he said on his profile. Sometimes the photos were 10 years old, or sometimes he'd be in a whole secret relationship already that I didn't even know about. You know what I mean? There is nothing worse than wasting time on something because you didn't have all the info about what you were getting into. But if you're looking for a job, that situation will not happen on ZipRecruiter. Boom. Did you like that transition? Yes. We all know how important salary and benefits are. That's why most jobs on ZipRecruiter include that info, so you can make an informed decision before you hit apply, Daddy Gang. A hidden lowball salary is basically the equivalent of a guy lying about his height. And Daddy Gang, you don't need to be dealing with this, okay? You can start finding real quality jobs right away when you go to ziprecruiter.com/CHD. ZipRecruiter finds and sends you great job matches in minutes, and you can apply to most with just one click. Most applications on ZipRecruiter are viewed right away within 48 hours based on their recent data, so you know where you stand sooner, okay? ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated job site based on G2. Over 172 million job seekers have used ZipRecruiter in their job search. Go to ZipRecruiter and get all the info you need to land an amazing job. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/CHD right now to get started. Again, that's ziprecruiter.com/CHD. Daddy, I don't know what to do. My best friend just told me that she's been having an affair with a married man with kids. She recently broke up with her boyfriend of 3 years, and apparently this has been going on ever since. I told her straight up I don't think it's okay, but she said she didn't care and she's still doing it. I'm honestly sick over it. I don't agree with it at all, and it's making me question who she even is. But she's been my best friend for 15 years. I feel stuck. I can't talk to anyone about it, and I just don't know what to do. Dude, that is fucked behavior. Damn, I'm really sorry, because when you added in the 15-year friendship, I was like, fuck that. I was going to be like, fuck this bitch. And then I'm like, oh my God, I get it. It's your friend of 15 years. And she basically told you, fuck off. I'm not going to listen to you. Where does that leave you? My opinion, if I'm putting myself in your shoes, that leaves you to realize all you can do is control yourself in this moment. There is no reason for you to try to convince her, stop having this affair. It's only going to rupture your relationship even more. And if she doesn't want to listen to you, she's not going to listen to you. We're all adults here, you know? So if anything, the only reason for you to keep going at her and trying to get her to stop would be to fulfill something in yourself, to make you feel better, like you tried to get her away from this person and you're trying to save this family. I think you need to just let it go. And I think the hard thing about friendships is, especially long-term friendships, is sometimes we have such an image of our friends from when we met them and our early days of our relationship that we don't actually look at ourselves and be like, how has my friendship with this person progressed? And do I like who they are as a person? And do I like how I feel around them? And this is a perfect example of someone like, yes, there is history there, but this is like a pretty fucked up thing for a person to do. So I think you need to pull back. And the hope is you pull back, you focus on yourself, you don't let this take up space in your brain because it's icky and it's like foul behavior. Like I agree. I couldn't be around a friend that's having a fucking affair with a married man with kids. Like it is gross. But the more you focus on yourself, the one hope would be she eventually comes to you in a month, 6 months, a year and is like, I am so fucking sorry. I don't know what the fuck I was going through and I don't know what that was feeding in me, and I look back and I was a shell of a human being of myself. After my breakup, I threw myself into this. I thought it would make me feel better. It didn't. And like, I'm so fucking sorry for pushing you away, and I am disgusted with myself. Like I'm going to get into therapy and I don't know what the fuck happened. That would be the hope and the dream. Unfortunately, I think as adults we have to start to recognize people are going to make weird fucking decisions, right? We've all been there. Your friend marries a guy that you're like, he's like literally emotionally or verbally or hopefully not, but like physically abusive. And we all can't sit here and watch this happen and feel good. So you probably stop going over for dinners as much. And you have friends who become so angry about their situation, whether it's their job or their relationship, that they start to be an angry drunk when you guys go out to dinners, right? And you're like, I can't keep wasting my Fridays on the one time of the week that I get to go out and have you like yelling at me. Like everyone has that thing that you're kind of like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Newsflash, you don't have to be a part of it anymore. And I know it feels weird because when you're the person that's not being the aggressor or doing the wrong thing, you almost feel this sense of like, but I can't give up on them. But it would be weird to pull away. No. At some point, yes, after you have said something to your friend, after you've actively tried to help them and they actively look you in the face and say, fuck off, basically, you do then have to take some accountability to pull away and recognize you can only fully control yourself. And if they want to come back, they will come back. But maybe this is kind of the end of a beautiful friendship for what it was for a while. And maybe you can start to look at, has it actually been that good the past year or two? Has she been in tune with you and has she been a good friend? I don't know. And if she has, then we can hope that she comes back and she fucking hopefully the wife walks in on them fucking. She runs down the street. She breaks her fucking leg. Well, no, but you know what I mean. And she has a wake up call. She almost gets hit by a car. She's in the hospital. She calls you and she says, I'm never going to fuck a married man again. You never know. Something could fall out of the sky, hit her in the head. She's concussed. She wakes up. She's a better woman. We can hope, but we can't expect. Okay, next. This is fucking tough. Are we ready? All right, Daddy, this might be a weird one, but I need help. How do I tell my best friend that she needs to chill on the filler? It started with a little Botox, then some lip filler, and now it's every month she's getting something else put in her face. She's already so beautiful, and now she's starting to look kind of unrecognizable. Is it my job as her best friend to tell her to stop, or is this just a canon event I can't interfere with? Damn. That's really fucking tough because I'm trying to think like what I would do, because a part of me feels I feel for you, right? Because it's like bringing up your friend's looks in general is tough. And I think someone that's going to get an excessive amount of work done, and that, like, it's one thing to be like, Botox, yay, a little bit of filler, woo. And then once they get to the point where it's like, girl, like, your face is looking like a fucking cinder block, you clearly there's something going on with her, right? Like, there is an insecurity in her. There's something going on, and she's taking it too far, and she doesn't see it. It's like fucking eyebrow blindness that everyone talks about on TikTok, or it's filler blindness. Like, I get that. Or it's blonde blindness, where it's like, I'm not blonde enough. And it's like, you have 3 strands of hair left on your head, and they are platinum fucking blonde. Number 1, my piece of advice, you have to kind of assess, what is your relationship with this person? Because I'm thinking about, like, my best friends and I, if any of us are ever going to get something done, we FaceTime and call that person. And it's like, okay, wait, I was thinking about doing this. Like, do you think I need it, or am I being fucking insane? So if my friend, I feel like I would have a gauge to be like, no, wait, because last time you did this, don't do that. If you don't have that relationship, this is how I would approach it. I think you sit her down, not actually like schedule a meeting, but like whether you're having drinks or you're at a dinner or you're just hanging. And I think you say, hey, I wanted to bring something up that I like hate that I'm bringing this up, but I know that if the roles were reversed, I would want you to say something to me. And I want you to know I love you so fucking much. And I think you're so beautiful and you're my best friend. And I'm only saying this because I would want you to do the same for me. I have obviously noticed that you've been getting more stuff done lately, and I just wanted to check in with you and see like how you're doing and make sure you're okay. I think you have to make sure, did you kind of like notice my wording here where I'm not like, so I've noticed that you've been getting a lot done to your face and you look so different and it is starting to look botched. So I'm just wondering like why you're doing that, because like it's not looking good. No, don't use the word botched. Don't even use the words like you're looking different. Like obviously she can't see it. If she knew like, wow, I look fucking crazy, but it takes a while to get to the point where you recognize that, right? And so I think it's being very loving, and it's just saying, as a friend, I would want you to do the same for me. And then again, like I feel like the theme of this is like, you can only go so far. If she's like, what are you talking about, and blows up on you, she is eventually going to realize it, right? Because one day a doctor is going to be like, I can't put another syringe in your fucking face. Or she's going to take it so far that then all of a sudden she'll have her own recognition because her fucking mom's going to send her a picture of herself when she was a child. And she'll be like, that wasn't me. And they're like, no, Rebecca, it's literally you. But post nose job, chin implant, jaw implant, you do look a little different. And she'd be like, oh my God, I was so cute. Why do I look like that? Like something will break for her. But maybe you can get in there and just make her not feel insecure is the biggest fucking thing. You have been there. We've all been there. If a friend brings something up to you and they do it in a way that you can recognize it in the moment, but because they're being so aggressive, you get defensive. And it's like, maybe later that night, it will actually sink in and you'll be able to handle it. But then you're like, well, I'm not going to talk to her about it because she was so judgy and so rude about how she handled it. So it's with grace and it's with ease. But again, everyone's going to do what they want to do. So you don't want to fuck up your relationship by telling her that her face is fucking botched, you know? Okay, this is one that I really feel is good to end with because it honestly kind of goes back to the beginning of this episode. Hi, Daddy. I went out last weekend and met this really cute guy. We talked seriously all night and had the best chemistry. He ended up walking me home and asking for my number, but didn't try to kiss me or anything. It's been a week and he hasn't texted me. I found his Instagram and am thinking about DMing him, but is that crazy? I want to shoot my shot, but also I know that if he wanted to, he would. I kind of just want to know whether he's into me or not so I can mentally compartmentalize him. So, sweetie, 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 you have your answer. You know what I mean? Like, let's use those context clues. He walked you home. He didn't try to kiss you. He asked for your number. He didn't give you his number. And when he asked for your number, he didn't say texting you now so you have it. He didn't call you saying that's my number. Did that work? Did I write that down? He just, oh, thanks for your number. Bye. Walked away. It's been a week. You haven't heard from him. You haven't heard from him. You haven't heard from him. He has your number. He hasn't heard from no. No. Ole, ole, ole. He fucking hates you. He doesn't hate you, but he doesn't like you. You know what I mean? We gotta just fucking take it on the chin and roll. If a man takes your number and doesn't fucking text you immediately in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, it's a no for him, dog. You know? And I feel like you going and looking at his Instagram and then you're going to try to DM him. Why do you have to DM him? Let's remember, because he didn't give you his number. You know what I mean? For all you know, this man has a full girlfriend. Like, this is something that is so hard in the moment to notice, and I so get that, but that's why you need that fatherly advice to smack it out of you, to be like, no. Why do you have to DM him? Because you don't have his number. He asked for your number and he has never texted you again. I know it's hard, and I think this is, now to be less of aggressive, why I think it's so hard sometimes is when you have a really fucking fun night with someone, there's two things that can happen. Number one, you can be misinterpreting the fun night as, oh my God, this is literally the beginning of the rest of my life. And they're blown off steam after work and they're just having a nice time. And if it was you or fucking Samantha or Caroline or grandma fucking Ida, he would have talked to anyone that night at the bar. You know what I mean? Like, he just was looking for a little bit of comfort and a good time talk. And then that was it. So you have to compartmentalize, like, this was a good moment, but that doesn't mean shit. It was a good moment, but how did he act after the good moment? It's easy to have a fun night where you don't know someone's backstory, you don't know their baggage, you don't know jack shit. They're just a fucking pretty girl in a bar and a hot guy in a bar, and you buy a drink together, you hit it off, he walks you home, and he fucking never talks to you again. That is the easiest thing to actually do. And the harder thing to do is follow up and actually have a date and now have a conversation and have a planned situation. And he's not doing that. It sucks though. I think I've been there where I've, met a guy at a bar and been like, oh my God, that was so fucking fun. And then he just didn't give me the same energy back the following days. And I was like, got it. This is kind of weird. Clearly I'm misreading this. So I'm going to pull back. And I think that's all you can do. Wait in the wings. If he ever texts you, I'm gonna give you the cheat code and just give you the answer now. He's never gonna text you. So go back out to the bars, find another guy. And I actually was gonna say, make sure you get their number next. I think you now know. If a man ever asks for your number and he doesn't give you his back or he doesn't text you immediately, he's kind of trying to awkward exit. We've all done that. Daddy gang, we have all done that. And I have done that. I have done that to friends of Matt's that are like periphery friends that like we run into, and they're like, oh my God, well, oh, you're like, oh my God, we should get to, oh, totally. Give me your number. Give me that number. And I am never gonna fucking text you. Not because, all for different reasons. Sometimes it's like because there's nothing to say. And in the moment, understandably, if someone, I give credit. There's moments in work settings where someone's like, oh yeah, maybe we know, but we're trying to end the conversation and it's weird to just be like, bye sometimes, and people word vomit. So they're like, let's get a little drink. And it's like, we don't need to get a drink. We just did business. We're all good. Email me. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's word vomit. And that's what I worry for you. He's standing on your stoop. Your hair's in the breeze. You're kind of leaning forward, like trying to kiss him. And he's like, why don't you give me your number? And I'll hit you up. It's almost like a cop-out where it's like an easy little, like, make them think I'm coming back. He's never coming back. So that sucks, but at least you didn't, like, date him for a year and he's a narcissist. There's always a silver lining. Daddy gang, thank you so much for tuning in on this Sunday session. It feels right to be back. Every Sunday is Father's Day. You know what I mean? Me, you, and just some really hard truths, but good truths, because it's important, right? We need to be self-aware and we need to keep it fucking moving. We don't have time for pieces of shit. We don't have time for people that are going to waste our time, and we don't have time for people that aren't going to treat us right. So, love you bitches. I'll see you in 2 Sundays. Love you. Bye.